Can anyone hear me? I don't really hear nothing. Man, it was a nightmare. I don't know what was going on. Shit's hacked. You heard I was going to talk about false arrest, false imprisonment. Hour and a half trying to get on this damn thing. You know, I'm not even sure if I got audio. Video's working. Oh, hey, Essendon, can you hear me all right? Sorry about that. What a nightmare. See if everyone can hear me. Hopefully everyone comes back. And let's get into it. Audio and video 100. Okay. Here we go. My first time with StreamYard. It's something to do with it, I'm sure, but didn't make no sense. So we can talk about false arrest and false imprisonment. Let's start out with some definitions of words. Starting with arrest. What is an arrest? This is Black's Law Dictionary, 11th edition. Been highly bastardized, but it's still essential if you don't have an earlier one. A seizure or forcible restraint, especially by legal authority. 2. The taking or keeping of a person in custody by legal authority, especially in response to a criminal charge, specifically the apprehension of someone for the purpose of securing the administration of the law, especially of bringing that person before a court. The question of what constitutes an arrest is a difficult one. On one end of the spectrum, it seems apparent that detention accompanied by handcuffing, drawn guns, or words to the effect that one is under arrest qualifies as an arrest, and thus requires probable cause. At the other end, simple questioning on the street will often not arise to the level of an arrest. Somewhere in between lie investigative detentions at the station house. Arbitrary arrest. An arrest of a person without probable cause to believe the person permitted a crime. Permitted, it says. I think that's a typo. I think it's supposed to say committed, but it says permitted. Arrest by warrant. See lawful arrest. What does that tell you? An arrest without a warrant is an unlawful arrest. Arrest and execution. See arrest on final process. I noticed they direct you somewhere else when they don't want you to easily get the definition from it. Arrest in quarters, military law, a non-judicial punishment they can give to officers and warrant officers only by a general, a flag officer in command, or an officer exercising general court-martial jurisdiction. See breach of arrest. Maybe we'll skip some of these that don't apply to our topic here. Arrest on final process. Arrest in a civil case after the conclusion of a trial, also termed arrest and execution. Arrest without a warrant. See warrantless arrest. Yeah, see, why don't they tell you? They redirect you somewhere else. Citizen's arrest. An arrest of a private person by another private person on grounds that 1. A public offense was committed in the arrester's presence, or 2. The arrestor has reasonable cause to believe that the arrestee has committed a felony. Civil arrest. An arrest and detention of a civil suit defendant until bail is posted or a judgment is paid. Civil arrest is prohibited in most states. Criminal arrest. An arrest made on suspicion, especially on probable cause, that the person has committed a crime. Probable cause, once again. That's lost on all these policy enforcers, the concept of probable cause, I'm telling you. De facto arrest. Police custody in which the defendant does not feel free to leave despite having been explicitly told that he or she may leave. Anyone ever experienced that? Dragnet arrest. A sweeping arrest of people suspected of possible involvement in criminal activity or a civil disturbance. This type of arrest is illegal in the United States because it is based not on probable cause, but on unsupported suspicion or belief. Also termed roundup, wholesale arrest. False arrest, an arrest made without proper legal authority, which would be a policy enforcer out of his jurisdiction, no exigent circumstances, no probable cause. They just want to hem you up, puts up some of that fly paper on you and start throwing shit at the wall. A lawful arrest, the taking of a person into legal custody, either under a valid warrant or on probable cause that the person has committed a crime. Also termed arrest by warrant, warrant arrest, malicious arrest, an arrest made without probable cause and for an improper purpose, especially an abuse of process by which a person procures the arrest and often the imprisonment of another by means of judicial process without any reasonable cause. Malicious arrest can be grounds for an action for abuse of process, false imprisonment, or malicious prosecution. Yeah, but they get you hemmed up into court, on the defensive, and most people never get past that, So the bar association is gatekeepers of lawsuits, so they don't worry that that's ever going to happen to them. But that's what we got to change, because if they had to take responsibility for their actions and the crimes that they commit, they wouldn't be doing the stuff that they do. Let's see what we got here in the comments. Oh. Yeah, we lost our viewers. I know. Sucks. How many people we got in here? Thanks for being here, Essendon. I can't tell. Oh, we got three. We got three. All right. I had 50. I couldn't get it to. I tried my damnedest. Let's see, material witness arrest, an arrest and detention of a witness to a crime for the purpose of inducing the witness to provide material evidence to investigators or prosecutors. This type of arrest requires a warrant based on probable cause. All arrests do require a warrant based on probable cause or exigent circumstances. So where would a traffic stop fall into either of those? No reason for it. Not based on probable cause. There's no exigent circumstances. Mental hygiene arrest, the arrest of a person who appears to be mentally ill and is behaving in a manner likely to result in serious harm to self or others. The purpose of the arrest usually being for immediate hospitalization. Yeah, I don't think these magistrates and these policy enforcers are determined to make that qualified to make that type of determination. But yeah, they throw you in a cage and then try to come up with some reasons later to justify their behavior or not. Because who holds them accountable? How do you? Those are the questions we got to sort out. Parole arrest, an arrest ordered by a judge or magistrate from the bench without written complaint and executed immediately, such as an arrest of a person who breaches the peace in open court. See contempt. And it's not spelled like parole with an E. That's Parol. And sounds like contempt of court. Breach of the peace in the courtroom. But if you're not going bananas in the courtroom, I don't see how they could say contempt of court. They did that to me because I didn't get fingerprinted when there was no order to get fingerprinted, and they don't have the authority to order fingerprinting. I haven't been convicted of a crime, and People versus Halvern and Davis versus Mississippi, you'll find case law that prior to conviction of a crime, they can't have compulsory fingerprinting pre-conviction because violates the defendant's right against self-incrimination protected by the Fifth Amendment. Pretextual arrest, an arrest of a person for a minor offense to create an opportunity to investigate the person's involvement in a more serious offense for which there is no lawful ground to make an arrest. That sounds like some shady shit there. Also termed pretext arrest. Prison gate arrest. An arrest made as soon as a person who has been released from incarceration steps outside a prison's walls or boundaries and is charged with other offenses committed before the person went to prison. Rearrest. How many people know there's this many types of arrests? Rearrest. A warrantless arrest of a person who has escaped from custody, violated parole or probation, or failure to appear in court as ordered. That would be a proper summons and service of process. And the summons is always supposed to be preferable to a warrant, but you wouldn't know when you look around. And they never have a real warrant. They never ever have it. They never ever have it. It must be supported by affidavit, first-hand information, under oath or affirmation. Subterfuge arrest. An arrest of a suspect for the stated purpose of obtaining evidence of one crime, but with the underlying intent to search the suspect for evidence of a different crime. Yeah, not give full disclosure. Lying pigs. Turnover arrest. An arrest by a security guard who holds the suspect, usually a shoplifter, until the police arrive and then turns the suspect over to them. Those are illegal and unlawful. And I guess unless it's a felony, they witnessed a felony, but that would be the same power that anybody has. A citizen's arrest, because no policy enforcer can be bestowed with any authority that we don't possess ourselves. How can you give someone authority that you don't have? You can't. Unlawful arrest. The taking of a person into custody, either without a valid warrant or without probable cause to believe that the person has committed a crime. They do that every day. And unlawfully imprison them after that. And don't take them directly before a magistrate. Last time I was unlawfully arrested, they had me 24-hour lockdown. 4 days later, it was 83 some hours later, took me before a magistrate, which was another pointless hearing, like they always are. Wasn't a hearing at all. And, yeah, that's how they do you. Directly means whenever they feel like it, they get around to it. And I demanded for a hearing to establish probable cause, which should have already happened. They're claiming to have a warrant. No warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. So where is it? I need to see that warrant. They never ever have it. Warrant arrest. See lawful arrest. Warranted arrest. An arrest made under authority of a warrant. It will be with an affidavit under oath and affirmation. Once again, I don't know why they are. They don't even. These guys don't even have to take a quiz before they give them a gun and a badge. And they got these overinflated egos because of their little costume, and they got a whole gang of backup. But they don't know basic stuff like probable cause, warrants, the First Amendment. Sad state of affairs we find ourselves in. Warrantless arrest. Illegal arrest without a warrant based on probable cause of a felony or for a misdemeanor committed in a police officer's presence. So I guess they're taking his word for it, committed in his presence, but police do lie. But they should have body cameras on now, so they can't lie. And they should be all coughing that stuff up, FOIA requests too, instead of just giving excuses. Also turned arrest without a warrant. Wholesale arrest. The dragnet arrest. Maritime law. The taking of a ship and sometimes its cargo into custody by virtue of a court's warrant. Arrestable crime. See arrestable offense. Some Latin stuff here. Arrestee. Someone who has been taken into custody by legal authority. A person who has been arrested. Arrestor. Someone who arrests. Arrestment. The arrest of a person or of personal effects. 2. The taking or attachment of property belonging to another person, but in the possession of a third party, either to obtain security or to found jurisdiction. That's another thing. Jurisdiction, they don't have it without an injured party. And they don't have any of it. They don't have territorial jurisdiction, oftentimes. They don't have personal jurisdiction. There's no injured party. And they don't have subject matter jurisdiction. Let's see. Arrestment to found jurisdiction. Arrestment for the purpose of conferring legitimate legal authority on a court. When the debtor is a foreigner who is not present in and does not own land in a given place. That sounds like some might makes right type of shit. We got 3 people. What else we got in here? We got Essendon. Bleak said he's going to try to join up with me over here. Essendon, all the way from Australia. Always great to have her. I don't see that wrench on there. I wonder why. Different format I'm used to. Oh, it's because it's StreamYard and not the YouTube live, I guess. Yeah, I do think that was malicious. Not being able to get in there, you know. What the heck is going on? Hey, from Tennessee, Douglas Fox. All right. Thanks for coming back. Sorry about those problems earlier. Anybody got any questions? Anything want me to talk about here? Let's see. Let's go over about warrants for a minute here. Damn gangbanging thugs seem to be really clueless on it. And it makes you wonder sometimes if they're just that dumb and ignorant, or is it on purpose? They don't give a fuck. A combination of the two. New sub from Tennessee. All right. What's happening, Douglas? got here? Warrant. A writ, directing or authorizing someone to do an act, especially one directing a law enforcer to make an arrest, a search, or a seizure. There's a bunch of different kinds of them. Let's go through. Let's see. Administrative warrant. A warrant issued by a judge at the request of an administrative agency that seeks to conduct an administrative search. Administrative, that means commercial. I think basically interior. Search warrant. Search somebody's office. I'm not receiving any paychecks. Arrest warrant. A warrant issued by a disinterested magistrate. Disinterested, imagine that. You can find one of them. After a showing of probable cause, once again, directing a law enforcement officer to arrest and take a person into custody, also termed warrant of arrest. See, when a complaint's made to the police, say it's just a hearsay complaint, they're not supposed to just go and arrest the guy the complaint was made about. They're supposed to have an investigation. They never do that. They never ever do it. And then an investigation, if it yielded any evidence to support that hearsay accusation, and they thought it was sufficient to establish probable cause, which is a lower standard of proof than beyond a reasonable doubt, then they would go with they would fill out an application for a warrant and then take that to the magistrate and see if the magistrate, under his or her disinterested, knowledge would see that it was enough for probable cause and issue a warrant. They're not doing any of that. They're not doing any of it. What started costing more, Douglas? Everything, huh? Let's see. Bench warrant. A writ issued directly by a judge to a law enforcement officer, especially for the arrest of a person who has been held in contempt, has been indicted, has disobeyed a subpoena, or has failed to appear for a hearing or trial. Well, that would mean proper summons, service of process, again, or with the subpoena, summons, there must be an indictment, or person who has been held in contempt. In most jurisdictions, a bench warrant is used only when the defendant has already appeared at least once and got tricked into granting jurisdiction. That's the name of the game. I found out. They appear once, they'll say, "Oh, he's already been arraigned on these," but that would mean that the original arrest warrant was valid and supported by probable cause with an affidavit. And then they trick you into getting you in there, and then the bailiff will hand you a card or something with a date on it, and that's passing his service of process. And then if you don't jump in step with them, then they'll kidnap you, beat you up, rob you. I got first-hand knowledge of that. Otherwise, an arrest warrant is issued. A bench warrant is often issued for the arrest of a child support obligor. That's how they hang titles on you, see. Who was found in contempt of court for not having paid the support obligation. He volunteered to arbitration. Oh. Border warrant. A writ or arrest or other warrant concerning debts owed issued on one side of a national border for execution on the other side. Such a warrant issued on either side of the border between England and Scotland. Okay, that doesn't apply to us. Commitment warrant. See, warrant of commitment. I heard Chancellor Solicitor Free Inhabitant talking about that. I think that's from England. They call it the warrant of committal. Death warrant. A warrant authorizing a warden, or other prison official to carry out a death sentence. A death warrant typically sets the time and place for a prisoner's execution. Lovely. Distress warrant. A warrant authorizing a court officer to distrain property. See distress. A writ allowing an officer to seize a tenant's goods for failing to pay rent due to the landlord. An officer of what? You know, these clowns, they want to all be called officers. Who's, you know, who's the privates, the peons, of their little organization? They're all officers? Give me a break. Just another thing, trying to have a title of nobility, which they're not supposed to be in this country. Titles of nobility. Officer, it's like the sheriff's office. All the sheriff deputies. It says big on their shirt, sheriff. Well, fuck, you ain't a sheriff, but everybody calls them, oh, it's the sheriff, it's the sheriff. What is it, a meeting from all the sheriffs around from different counties? Because there's only one sheriff of each county. So those are, deputies. Clowns. Let's see here. Where are we? Emergency warrant. A warrant whose issuance is expedited because of exigent circumstances. That means an emergency. Expedited, I think, is like with expedience, like hastened, sped up the process of escape warrant. Warrant directing a peace officer to rearrest an escaped prisoner. Historically, a warrant granted to retake a prisoner who had escaped from a royal prison after being committed there. The warrant was obtained on affidavit, there we go, from the judge of the courts in which the action has been brought, and was directed to all sheriffs throughout England. Well, there's the plural of sheriffs. Well, I don't know if they got counties or in England like that. I couldn't speak on that. It's interesting. I was just saying that to all sheriffs, commanding them to retake and commit the prisoner to the nearest jail. Order followers. Supposed to be protected the rights of property of the people, but they just mindlessly carry out any order from anyone who's got a black dress on, or any kind of tin badge, matching pants and shirt. How they protect their rights and property if they're just blindly following orders, and there's no system of checks and balances in place. They're supposed to be, but they're not doing it. They're not doing it. And I was reading up on the sheriff's office duties here in Erie County today, and I already knew it, but nice to see it in print on their own website that indeed one of their primary functions is to serve process such as summons, and they don't know that. They never ever do it, but they're all jumping on board, when it's time for the violence. But where's the papers that you're supposed to be serving? These things should be tried to be addressed in a peaceful manner. Violence should be a last resort, not a first one. It's their first resort. They look for reasons to try to trick you into some situation where they can use their weapons and display show their power and their violence. Stupid as fuck. Extradition warrant. A warrant for the return of a fugitive from one jurisdiction to another. Everyone pretty much knows that one, I think. Fugitive warrant. An arrest warrant in one jurisdiction seeking the extradition of a defendant who is believed to have fled to another jurisdiction to avoid prosecution or punishment. General warrant. A warrant issued by the English Secretary of State for the arrest of the author, printer, or publisher of a seditious libel without naming the persons to be arrested. General warrants were banned by Parliament in 1766. I guess we could skip the narrative on that. General warrant number 2, a warrant giving a law enforcement officer broad authority to search and seize unspecified places or persons. That's like the exact opposite of the Fourth Amendment, sounds like. Let's see. A search or arrest warrant that lacks a sufficiently particularized description of the person or things to be seized or the place to be searched. General warrants are unconstitutional because they fail to meet the Fourth Amendment's specificity requirements, also termed blanket warrant. I was right. But though there are precedents of general warrants to search all suspected places for stolen goods, these are not at common law legal because it would be extremely dangerous to leave it to the discretion of a common officer to arrest what person or search what house he thinks fit. And in the great case of Money versus Leach, it was declared by Lord Mansfield that a warrant to search for and secure the person and papers of the author, printer, and publisher of a libel is not only illegal in itself, but is so improper on the face of it that it will afford no justification to an officer acting under its sanction. And by two resolutions of the House of Commons, such general warrants were declared to be invalid. Governor's warrant. A warrant issued by a state's governor's office to extradite a captured suspect to another state to stand trial, like an extradition warrant. A John Doe warrant. A warrant for the arrest of a person whose name is unknown. A John Doe warrant may be issued, for example, for a person known by sight but not by name. This type of warrant is permitted in a few states but not in federal practice. There should be about 20 John Doe warrants out for these fucking pigs that have committed crimes against me, but that's always a civil matter. If you complain, and you can only complain about it to their gang. Like, for instance, the state troopers won't take a complaint on the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office won't take a complaint on a municipality policy enforcer. It's some real bullshit. And then when you do go make a complaint, they investigate themselves, of course, find no wrongdoing, and even if they do, it's a civil manner, and then the taxpayers have to shell out for the damages. So it doesn't really hit them in the wallet anyways. The rare occasions when something does happen about it, because seems to me they're committing crimes every day. They got to keep that jail full, and they don't give a damn about right or wrong. I'll tell you that. Let's see here. Douglas Fox. Why do things peacefully when violence is so much fun? Well, is that a rhetorical question? Are you trolling at Douglas, or is that a joke? I don't know. Depends which. Not so fun being on the receiving end of their violence, I'll tell you. Hey, RF is killing us softly. Right on, man. How's it going? Welcome. I tried doing this earlier, and I couldn't get connected, man. It was hacked. Shit was hacked. Welcome. Yeah, Essendon, right. Well, Douglas, maybe ask the inmates, right? Yeah, it's not so much fun. They have fun doing it. That's the problem. That is the problem. We're learning more about warrants and types of arrest today than any of them, though. Anyone in the house know what the five elements of the First Amendment? Drop it in the comments. Those of us that don't know, try to get familiar with them. Three of them are easy. Two of them are a little wordy, but nothing we can't memorize, in one day. And then the end of the Second Amendment. Don't know the rights? We don't have any. You got to fight for them too, because these protectors of rights and property are not that at all. They're the exact opposite. The violators of rights, trespassers of property, thieves of property. Everyone you see in jail, guy's been in there for a month, probably his whole life went down the toilet. Any longer, the longer you're in there, the greater chance that you got no life to go back to. And then they want to hang a title on you, such as a felon, you know. So what chances do you have rebuilding your life? And how many times can you rebuild it? You know, just have them to steal it all from you again, you know, put you in a cage. It's slavery, people. Got to stop. Where was? Oh yeah, justice's warrant. See peace warrant. We should, because well, around here they call them town justices. That's their actual title, but the bar members and the cops like to you know, fluff up that status by calling him judge. Oh, the judge said, well, we can't do nothing. That's what the judge said. Oh yeah, you know, fucking justice is supposed to be a peace off, you know, a peace, justice of the peace. Just like these cops are supposed to be peace officers. Like they when they say assault on a police, it'll say assault on a police officer or a peace officer. Also, there's a distinction. Oh, well, I don't see any of them keeping the peace. You know, they're the ones breaching the peace. You should call them breach of peace officers. You know, people still think we need this shit is beyond me. Landlord's warrant. A type of distress warrant from a landlord to seize the tenant's goods, to sell them at public sale, and to compel the tenant to pay rent or observe some other lease stipulation. No knock search warrant. See search warrant. You know, why don't they have those definitions in there? There's a lot of funny things about this Black's Law Dictionary. I'm still getting acquainted with it, but I don't know how much better the older versions are. Guys I've learned from online and stuff, they say to get a fourth one, and I've seen a fifth edition. Seems to be pretty well used. Those seem to be the most common ones, and I think this is the newest version that came out. That's all I could get. Outstanding warrant, an unexecuted arrest warrant. That's outstanding. There's something there too. Like to point out the execution of a warrant, like it says there, an unexecuted arrest warrant, because you'll hear them talk about executing a warrant and serving a warrant, and they use those terms interchangeably. But I think there's a reason they're two different things, because I think it's two different processes. I think to serve a warrant would be to you know, tape it on the guy's door, or you know, contact them and say, listen, you missed court. A warrant's been issued for your arrest, so I'm here serving it to you. Here it is. You can examine it, and we advise you to turn yourself in. You know, because if you don't, you get you know, if you're out and about, you could end up getting arrested and have to get booked on this warrant with the affidavit under oath and affirmation. You know, and give the guy a chance, you know, to resolve the situation peacefully. But again, like Douglas said, yeah, well, why would they want to do that? They wouldn't get to be violent then. You know, yeah, it's just it's sad. They have no knowledge of they claim to have, I don't know how many warrants on me over the last few years, and haven't seen one. I've seen a couple fake ones, but nothing even close to what a warrant would have to have, you know, and taking people's freedom without a warrant. You know, why do all this stuff was established to protect people? You know, the law is pretty sophisticated and refined, you know, over many years, and it's been on a progressive decline from its spirit of it for quite some time. It's like that movie Idiocracy. See a couple of these, apply here. Parole warrant, a warrant issued for the arrest of a parolee. Something there too. I was hearing from George Gordon about Terry versus Ohio. That those guys were on parole, and that's why the Supreme Court ended up ruling in the cops' favor, because those guys were under contract, the subject to be searched. So the way he saw it is that those cops got lucky that those guys happened to be on parole, and when they searched them without a warrant, because otherwise it wouldn't have been ruled that way, But I think they perverted the meaning of it, because I trust George Gordon, and acting like, yeah, they at their discretion they could just stop and frisk and search someone if they say they fear for their safety, which they always do. But I don't think that's the true meaning of Terry versus Ohio, and I have to give it a read myself. But I thought that was interesting. The biggest ones they pigs use to violate rights is Terry versus Ohio, and then Pennsylvania versus Mims, about saying they could order you out of your automobile. For what? What's the emergency? Order me out of my automobile. They fear for their safety. That's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, that's a lawful order. Why? Because it came out of your mouth. It's a lawful order. Well, if I order someone to mow my grass, that could be a lawful order too. But who the hell am I to order another man to do anything? Badges don't grant extra rights. They don't have rights. They have duties. Tell me he's got the right to fucking smash my window out. My property. Fucking highway robbery. They're highway robbers. Peace warrant. A warrant issued by a justice of the peace for the arrest of a specified person. Also termed justice's warrant, warrant to keep the peace. Possessory warrant. A process similar to a search warrant used under certain circumstances by a plaintiff to search for and recover property wrongfully taken or held by another. Oh, what does that mean? The sheriff's office should send men to recover my motorcycle that they stole. Preliminary warrant. A warrant to bring a person to court for a preliminary hearing on probable cause. Yeah, see, that's what they should be doing. But they never do. If you ever, I don't know how many times y'all been in court, but I noticed that the public defenders, first thing out of their mouth is, we're going to waive a formal reading of the charges, Your Honor, and we're going to waive any hearings. That's to be informed of the nature and cause, is that formal reading, which is, I believe it's the Sixth Amendment. And probable cause. If there's not probable cause, the warrant never should have issued. But the accused has the right to be presented with that probable cause. And if there's not probable cause, it would never go forward from there. But it's a mock arraignment process, and they want you to think that the only options is to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest, and then you've been arraigned. They act like arraigned is a foregone conclusion that that's the first hearing, and the first court appearance is the arraignment. It's not supposed to be, because how could I be arraigned if I haven't been informed of the nature and cause of the action against me? And I have the right to confront my accuser. Where's the evidence? What's the probable cause? There is none. It's all tricks. And they say, the charges. We're going to waive a formal reading of the charges. What charges? That that's a word of art too. Charge. I come to find out, because oh, the policeman charges that on or about, so and so, did committed such and such a crime, as outlined in the statutes. Well, that's an accusation. He can't bring charges, formal charges. Only the district attorney's office can do that. They don't want you to know that though, and then they use it from you're being accused of something to you've been formally charged of something. It just magically happens without any process. It's bullshit. If you haven't been contacted by the Department of State, you haven't been charged with a crime. You've been charged in the sense of it being used as a word, for an accusation, but you haven't been charges haven't been formally pressed against you, brought against you. There's no charging instrument, and for a felony that would require an indictment. Where is it? You got the right to an indictment, and when there's no indictment, it's an information, a simplified traffic information or prosecutor's information. But I see most of the time, it says information. It's coming from the cop. It's coming from the cop, and they can't do that because the cop can't be the complainant, the witness, the process server, and the prosecutor. People got to start calling them out on this shit. Possessory warrant, a process similar to a search warrant, used under certain circumstances by a plaintiff to search for and recover property wrongfully taken or held by another. Did I read that one already? So, my bad. Rendition warrant, a warrant requesting the extradition of a fugitive from one jurisdiction to another. Like extradition again. Seizure warrant. Search warrant says see search warrant in all capitals. That's how they omit definitions in here, because all capitals would be in the beginning of that letter, and it's pretty much just acronyms or proper nouns, and search warrant would be neither. Seizure warrant, a warrant that allows a law enforcement officer to seize certain property, usually property believed to be the fruit of a crime or an instrument used to commit a crime. The warrant is often combined with a search warrant. Sneak and peek warrant. Anyone ever heard of those? I have. See, covert entry search warrant. Covert, yeah, sneaking under search warrant. They don't even have warrants when they're acting in the public. So you think they got these sneak and peek warrants? Oh yeah, they got it tucked away for when it goes to trial, which 97% of matters never go to trial because they bully and intimidate the accused into taking a plea bargain and relieving them of their burden of proof. But how many people are asking for those warrants? Nobody. So if they don't have a warrant when they're coming and busting someone's door down, they don't even have a real warrant. You think they got those sneak and peek warrants? With the affidavit and probable cause under oath and affirmation? I guarantee they don't. But it does tell you that they will fucking do sneak and peek through your shit. They they got no problem doing that. And I think the main time when they would do that is when someone's been arrested, falsely arrested, and they're sitting in jail. What better a time to do a little sneak and peek, put surveillance shit in their house, and who knows what they do. Covert entry search warrants, sneak and peek warrants. Them sons of bitches. Surreptitious entry warrant, a warrant authorizing a law officer to enter and observe an ongoing criminal operation, such as an illegal drug lab. Tax warrant, an official process issued for collecting unpaid taxes and under which property may be seized and sold. So that's one on those tax foreclosures, you got to demand to see that warrant because, you got to stand up to them. If you just go along with it, they're just going to take your shit and they're not going to produce the documents that they have to have in place to be taking these actions. We have to rise beyond the prison laws. Yeah, no, they're collecting taxes for the ruler of the time. Yeah, they are. It's like these counties, are like all acting as their own little fiefdoms, like a king and a queen, and they they got small armies, in these counties. They say that it's always in the name of the state, but it's really the counties doing it to you. The state's like housing the prisoners and shit, but they're intimidating people into volunteering into the prison system, and then I think the counties just get them all on a bus and write up some papers and say to the state, oh yeah, we got another 50 guys, going to prison. Here you go. And I guess it's legit because the guy volunteered into it. He entered into contract. And then it's too late, and then I don't think anyone gets out of prison anymore without being on parole. They're just trying to set you up to get you back in there because they got to justify their existence. The prison did close down down the road from me. It's good to see, but should be filled with these cops. Because what else do people worry about when they go out on the roadways? You think they'd have highway barons, filling the shoes of the police if the police tomorrow weren't there? I think it'd be safer. Valid warrant. A warrant that is regular in form and is issued by a court, body, or official having both the authority to issue the warrant for the purpose stated and jurisdiction over the person named. All the requisite proceedings for its proper issuance having taken place. You catch that? That's important. I think I should read that one more time. Valid warrant. This is since 1801. A warrant that is regular in form and is issued by a court, body, or official having both the authority to issue the warrant for the purpose stated and jurisdiction over the person named. All the requisite proceedings for its proper issuance having taken place. They never ever have it. They never ever have it. Violation warrant. A warrant issued for the arrest of a convict who has violated his terms of probation, parole, or supervised release. That's what I was just talking about. You're in contract. They try to, force you and trick you into getting you into contract. And then how do you argue it? You entered into contract. I don't know if a convict could rescind his signature on a contract. It'd be a hard uphill battle to do, but you're better off not entering into the contract in the first place. Relieve them of the burden of proof that they're trying to do bad shit to you. Don't help them. Warrant of commitment. A warrant committing a person to custody. Never hear him saying that. Warrant of rendition. Warrant to keep the peace. Sends you somewhere else. Warrant upon indictment or information. You have the right to an indictment. That's in the Constitution. You don't have to consent to being prosecuted by an information, nor should you, unless you want to. But I don't. And information means, an indictment means the cop, the pigs had an investigation, and they had enough evidence that they thought was probable cause, and they took it to a grand jury, and the panel of citizens did a secret meeting to see if they saw fit, based on that evidence, to hand down an indictment, which says a true bill. A true bill. What does that tell you? But I don't think they ever do it. And the grand jury, how does the average citizen get in contact with the grand jury to make a criminal complaint? So the police are the gatekeepers of people being charged with crimes, and they have immunity from it. It's some real bullshit. But information is just information and belief. They believe that somebody committed a crime because somebody said they did. That's hearsay, you know. Demand for that indictment. Don't consent to be prosecuted on an information, and demand to be informed of the nature and cause. Don't just put in a plea, because that's when they got you. You volunteered yourself to the jurisdiction of the court. You can challenge it later, but to oppose things, it's better to oppose them right in the beginning. That's the maximum law. An arrest warrant issued at the request of the prosecutor for a defendant named in an indictment or an information. Those aren't interchangeable terms. At the request of the prosecutor. Who the hell is he? Is he assuming personal jurisdiction? Well, there must be an injured party then, because if he's just standing in there for the state, the state is a fiction. Couldn't possibly be injured. Can't be an injured party. A document conferring authority to pay or receive money. Okay. Deposit warrant. A warehouse receipt used as security for a loan. That's nice. Interest warrant. An order by a corporation directing a bank to pay the interest due on a note, bond, or other debt to a corporate creditor. To a document by which a creditor, usually a company, asks an insurer to pay all the interest due on the insurer's notes, bonds, or other debts held by the creditor. Municipal warrant. In order to draw money from a municipality's treasury for the payment of the municipality's expenses or debts. Who writes those out? I'm writing themselves checks out of the taxpayer coffers. It sounds like to me. How many people are auditing them? Questing these records, looking at their books, because as sloppy as their stuff is when they're engaging in kidnapping people, how do you think their financial records are? Audit them. Audit them. Shout out to Audit Them. He's got great stuff. He's doing things never been done before. He's doing a fantastic job there in Illinois. Audit Them. Tax anticipation warrant. A warrant that is issued to raise public money and that is payable out of tax receipts when collected. That's how it sounds. Writing themselves IOUs out of tax money they haven't even extorted yet. So it sounds like to me. Treasury warrant. An order in the form of a check on which government disbursements are paid. An order by which a drawer authorizes someone to pay a particular sum of money to another. Yeah, they just IOUs. Oh, I'm good for it. Yeah, I'm getting all that tax money coming soon. We're selling some people into slavery, so that has to be lucrative for them. County warrant. A warrant drawn by a county official directing the county treasurer to pay a sum of money out of county funds to bearer, to a named individual, or to the named individual's order. Securities, let's skip that. Yeah, warrant. To guarantee the security of realty or personality, that's the one on me, or a person. The store warranted the safety of the customer's jewelry. To give warranty of title. To give warranty of title to a person. The seller warrants the property's title to the buyer. to promise or guarantee warrant payment. Even today, lawyers use the verb to warrant, meaning to promise, without necessarily indicating that the promise is a warranty. I like that. An introduction. That's from An Introduction to the Law of Contract. Number 4, to justify the conduct warrants a presumption of negligence. Number 5, to authorize. The manager warranted the search of the premises. Warrant application. Law enforcement officers or government's attorneys request directed to a court to authorize an arrest, a search, or a seizure. Warrant application. That's something that they always skip over. I seen one, and there was no warrant. He put an application with he didn't fill it out. All it was like a cover sheet that said application for warrant from sheriff's office. One of their hotshot detectives. Yeah, real impressed. But yeah, what are they applying for the warrant for? Which is the piece of paper, and there was nothing. There's no nothing even trying to show probable cause. Not that it was not sufficient for probable cause, but there was nothing there. So there was no warrant. So why the hell was I arrested? What did you put your fucking hands on me for? They're clowns. I'm telling you. There's no warrant application. So not only demand to see that warrant, demand to see that warrant application. Warrant clause, constitutional law. The clause of the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution requiring that warrants be issued only on probable cause. What's so hard about that? Cops think, oh, I smell marijuana. That's probable cause. No, it's not. They don't even know what probable cause is. Probable cause means that, well, first they should establish that a crime's been committed. That'd be the corpus delicti. And then they can go on and have an investigation, and gather evidence. And if that evidence is sufficient, to establish probable cause that Jim is the one that committed that crime, then they can go and get a warrant to arrest Jim. But smelling marijuana, that's not a corpus delicti. Who's the injured party? And then they want to, I smell marijuana, so I want to rifle search through your whole car. And you mind if I search? How many people say, yeah, go ahead. But that's not, there's no warrant. You think you got probable cause, then go submit it and get a warrant. You can't probable cause unless there's exigent circumstances. If they hear screaming from the car, but the search for marijuana and not particularly describing well, I think that marijuana is responsible for a certain crime, and I heard it was got a sworn affidavit that it's in the glove box. You know what I mean? Fucking bullshit. Warranty. A person to whom a warranty is given. That's different. Warrant of attorney. Power of attorney. It's also called warrant of attorney. Does that mean warrant means power? I guess it kind of does. They have a power. They have a warrant. Then they have the power of arrest. They don't have a warrant. They don't have any power. It's a crime what they're doing unless there's exigent circumstances. But then that should be promptly demonstrated. They had to make an arrest in lieu of a warrant because there's exigent circumstances. Then they're going to have to be able to present why. Warrant gives them the power, but that warrant again must have an affidavit because somebody's got to put their name on it and say, yeah, I'm saying that so and so did this, and if I'm lying, they'd be subject to the penalties of perjury. You know, if they're not willing to swear and not take an oath, you know, put themselves on the line too, then you know, you can't say anything about anybody, and you know, and use the police powers of the state to fucking, you know, put somebody in a cage, subject them to this fucking process of these courts who aren't impartial. You think they are, you know, you got another thing coming if you ever end up in there, because you know, I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you know, don't hold court on the side of the road. You know, that's not the time and the place. You know, you could resolve it in court." And I don't know what's going through their heads. They think, you know, that's how it should be, but it's not how it is. So it's always better to try, you know, nip it in the bud, if you will, on the side of the road. You know, when they're forcing these non-consensual encounters on you, and they're looking to arrest you on anything. They don't give a damn. They could know that you didn't do anything. They'll try to find something. You have rights, cops have duties. All right, you're back, man. Cool. Yeah, sorry about that before. Man, I had a hell of a time trying to get this shit to work. Yeah, marijuana shouldn't be fucked with at all. You're right. But now they say it's okay here in New York, you know. But how many people have they sent to prison for decades, you know, for the same thing that they now say is okay? You know, that doesn't demonstrate that you know, there is no moral confliction. Just an exercise of power, a way for them to make money. The gray state. What's that? You have rights, cops have duties. Never heard that. We got 8 people in the house. All right. There's 50 here before it. You know, I swear that was malicious. Uh, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get into the StreamYard. Just kept like going in circles, and the internet's going in and out. Lars Peter Larson, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Talking about warrants here. Oh, if the process wasn't available, the people wouldn't unjustly use it. Not sure what you mean there. They have sent so many down the river that they have to keep it up. Oh yeah, yeah, I know. And they were filling those prisons with you know, marijuana smokers for the longest time. And yeah, now marijuana, you know, they want to keep people complacent, you know. Oh yeah, well Uncle Sam said it's okay, we can smoke marijuana now, so I'm not gonna raise a stink, you know, about you know, driver license and all that. So, but that's a lot of empty cots in these prisons and jails, you know. So they got to find somebody, you know, to make it like they did something wrong to get them in there, because that's what they're gonna do. You know, I noticed that when I was a kid, that they get all the real criminals off the street and everything. You know, they try to act like they're out there fighting crime, but they're really not. They're creating it, and they be pulling over little old ladies, you know, for not stopping within a specified number of feet of a stop sign or some shit, you know. And anyone who lives paycheck to paycheck, man, they're one traffic violation ticket away from you know, their whole life could be a downward spiral from that. If you can't afford it, then they're beating down on the poorest among us, trying to imprison us, enslave us. You know, they keep saying, "Oh, you want more money for this? Oh, you couldn't afford to, you know, pay your insurance. Well, see, here's a $300 fine, a bunch of court dates. You know, see how you can, how you like not being able to afford that. And if you can't, you know, then you got some decisions to make, because you can cough up all the money you make, you know, until you can't cough it up anymore. You're working your ass off. You know, they just arbitrarily impose it upon people, and if you can't pay it, well, then you're really breaking the law. They call it. They'll just keep hammering you more and more. Oh, you couldn't pay it. So now your inspection sticker's expired. So, well, here's another fine. and then can't pay that. Oh, your license will get suspended then, and there's some more fines. It's fucking bullshit, and it's kind of I guess that's what we get as a society, because that's a direct result of people not standing up for themselves, not reading the law, just going in there and rolling over. The town attorney says, oh well, yeah, we'll drop it down to this and that, $300 fine. Can you pay that today? Nobody's asking. Can I see proof of jurisdiction? Can I see your driver license, a valid driver license? You're trying to do business with me. There's a lot of things you could ask for. Everyone just goes in there, waits in line. Like lambs being led to the slaughter. I don't know. When they took me in chains in this court recently, and boy, that courtroom was full. And it's the first time I've been in there on their regular court nights, because they don't like the chattel. Hearing somebody standing up for themselves. They don't want anybody getting them ideas. But man, that place was packed, and everybody just goes right through, cooperates right with them. It feeds the beast. But they're all taxpayers too, I'm sure, and it's that tax money that's funding that in the first place. But all those tickets from fines and everything, does that go back into the taxpayers' funds? Does that make taxes less? When all that fine money, you think that would lower taxes? Because then it'd only be the the wrongdoers paying those taxes. So the ones who weren't getting tickets and stuff, it would go down for everybody. Taxes? No, I don't think so. And then school taxes, you got to pay that at the barrel of a gun. They'd have you believe. But why? Maybe I don't want my kids going to that school and learning that shit. If I had them, I don't. But it's probably a good thing too. But yeah, I always resented the hell out of that. Yeah, what we got here. Marijuana should never be legalized. It needs to be decriminalized. Yeah, I mean, oh, shit. Yeah, it should have never been criminalized. Who the hell is it hurting? That's like a sickness that they get people thinking that there's a such thing as a victimless crime, because there isn't. How the hell, that's a real slave thing to think that a class of people can tell you what you can or can't put into your body. What's next? You're gonna have the cholesterol police. Oh well, the judge said you can only eat bacon once a week. So if we catch you eating bacon, you're gonna have to pick which day you can eat bacon on. And if you want to eat bacon on any other days, you're gonna find yourself back in court paying some hefty fines. Bunch of bullshit. You have rights, cops have duties. I'm being maliciously prosecuted right now. I complained about harassment and threats from a public works guy, and turned into 4 years of protesting them and trapping me by shoving me. Yeah, I know how that feels, man. Is it from the district attorney's office? The charging instrument? Because that's one thing I'm looking at now. And did you put in formal complaints? And did you get any responses from them? Because I haven't on the complaints. They don't even say that. Oh yeah, we investigated and we found no wrongdoing. They just I don't know. They threw it in the wastebasket or something, I guess. But I found a couple things that I'm working on to do better in that regard. Let's see. How do I have people on here? Does anyone know? See if we can get you have rights captive duties on here, because this is my first StreamYard here. I'm not sure. Okay. We gotta drop the link or something. Essendon, do you know how to drop the link for the StreamYard? Complaints went nowhere. That's what I figured. You have rights. Yeah, I'd like to get you on here, man, if you want. You have rights, cops have duties. Yeah, I'm 46, bro. I know what you mean. Going to court for fucking 4 years now. All the directions, dude. All right. Oh, invite. Hang on a second. Charging us for area. That'll be next, Douglas. That'll be next. Right, like that movie Total Recall. Give those people air, Richter. Give those people air. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah. We are years from change, and at this slow pace, won't be around to see it if it even happens. I'm 40. Well, you know, it's got to start happening quick, man, because this is just, it's sick. It's out of control. That's in 56, huh? Oh, man. Following directions. LOL. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty good at following directions, but seems like this stuff is designed to waste my time and go in circles. I swear. You know, there's only so many options, and I think it'd be that difficult. You're total control of your thoughts, actions, and screen. Oh shit. Oh, look at me now, man. I'm on Essendon's big screen. Press invite here. Invite guest, okay. Copy that, that's the only option. Copy that. Copied, okay. Does that mean it went into the, no. Try that. Anyone want to come on here and talk? Let's try that. I think I did it. And then I press that, goes to the split screen. All right, let's see. I just about got through warrants. Anyone learn anything? I got something here. Filling out the Commission of Judicial Conduct complaint, and I got here the New York State Bar Association Code of Judicial Conduct, adopted by the New York State Bar Association. This 1996, but I don't think it changes much. Oh, youngsters, how old are you, Douglas? But I noticed some things on here might be helpful. Any of you that are in a jam in these courts, like you have rights, cops have duties. Yeah, it's called nepotism. They hire their cousins and everything. They're not supposed to do it, but they do. But this is probably not much different, but you can get it for your state. You know, I don't think it'll vary much, but that we know though that it's specific. That the numbers might be different on it or something, you know. But this is the Code of Judicial Conduct that judges are supposed to follow. They're supposed to read, you know, and then follow it. But they're called canons, judicial canons. Code of Judicial Conduct. So you know, it's some real dry stuff reading it. But I found out a way to get through it quicker. It's about 30. I think it's 32 pages, and you know, you can get lost in it. So I started highlighting the things that I wanted to point out exactly why I thought that they weren't following it, you know. Yeah, but okay, I'm here. Late mix up there. But a couple important things when you're reading this. Okay, I lost one. It's got six of you here still. Sorry about that. Well, what the hell now? This thing's fucking with me again. Hopefully they're good now. I didn't touch anything and it said start chat. I don't know. But the yeah, the code of judicial conduct, they're called judicial canons, and you want to point out exactly which ones, that you feel that the judge is not the so-called judge is not abiding by. These are the canons set forth of their conduct, so they ought to be familiar with them if they want to call themselves a judge, right? So a couple things I noticed to get through this, to identify exactly the ones you want to point out is for one, there's use of the words shall and should in here. Don't worry about the ones that say should, because those are just like suggestions, guidelines. Shall means they must. So if they're not, the things that it's spelled out in here, those are the ones you want to point out. And then the commentary is another thing that you could skip over. I mean, they're good to read because it helps you understand what they're talking about with the canons, with the commentary. But you don't want to cite them because they're not really recognized as actual um, they're not bound by the commentary. The commentary is just to help understand it better. So that helps you, with the thing, narrows it down. So only things that aside from the commentary and where it says shall, and then there's only 5 canons in here, and the last 2 are largely about elections and things of that nature. So don't really need to be concerned with them either. So out of them 32 pages, it seems overwhelming at first, but then when you narrow it down like that, it's not too bad. Canon number 1: a judge shall uphold the integrity and independence of the judiciary. Yeah, they shall. They shall. Not they should. They shall. So that means if they're not, then it's misconduct. It's something you can point out. And the integrity and independence, that means they're supposed to be operating independently of the executive branch and independently of the legislative branch. They don't make the laws. They don't enforce the laws. They interpret the law, and that's set forth by case law. So if they're in collusion with the police, and if they're having ex parte hearings and conspiring against your rights, they're not doing that. Um, the judge shall avoid impropriety and the appearance of impropriety in all of the judge's activities. Well, that's improper, bias, a lot of things, but they're all spelled out in there. Canon 3: the judge shall perform the duties if judicial office typo. Pretty sure that's supposed to say of. The judge shall perform the duties if judicial office impartially and diligently. No, I think it's supposed to say of judicial office impartially and diligently. Well, yeah, they should, they shall. And then 4 and 5, you'll see here. Probably don't apply to you, but it applies to them. The judge shall so conduct the judge's extrajudicial activities as to minimize the risk of conflict with judicial obligations. And 5, a judge or candidate for elective judicial office shall refrain from inappropriate political activity. So then, the preface there, preamble, some definitions of words, worth reading. But definitions of words. Then I highlighted the stuff that I'm going to refer back to for the specific things that I'm pointing out, and then you send it to the Commission on Judicial Conduct. And unless you're not having any problems, then you have nothing to complain about. But if you are, you should, because the way I see it, if you don't complain about it, you're consenting to it, you're accepting it. And I don't, never thought of myself as a complainer, complainant, but I think when they engage you in these things that you have to, because if you don't, you're saying you're okay with it. Not that the complaints will go anywhere, but maybe they do. Maybe we're missing the wording. Oh, let's see. Douglas Fox, you're gonna be 70. All right. Still fighting the man, huh? Hopefully you're at peace, man. But I'm inclined to think maybe you're not. If you're here, I'm still fucking with you. Oh, let's see, I gotta go back see some of these comments here. You have rights, cops have duties. Did anyone try hitting that link that I dropped in there? Want to get on here and talk about some of this stuff? Shall and must. Yeah, shall means must. Yeah. And I'll be done doing the activist stuff when I don't see the problems anymore that I see. Let's see. Yeah, they call him judge. That is a title nobility, right? They just they give themselves titles of nobility, and then they give us a title of low man on the totem pole. Shit, boy. Accept no titles. That's part of combating these problems we face. It's not accepting the titles that they try to pin on you. And then in the jail they put them plastic bands on your hand like you're a chicken getting taken to auction. I don't know what the all caps name. I don't know how that would go. Refusing that, they'd probably put you in solitary confinement, until you decide to get that band on you. But yeah, I didn't like that at all. Telling guys in there about the all caps name, they didn't even know about it. They think that is them. That's the products of these government schools. Yeah, cops saying I don't need to know the law, I am the law. Yeah, that's their attitude. It's not the attitude of a servant. So we need an attitude like that because I said so, not because they can't support it, with law, support their position because I said so. And if you don't obey my lawful orders, then you'll be beaten. They think anything out of their mouth's a lawful order. Fucking clowns. Man can't order another man. Maybe somebody about to get hit by a car, get out of the way. It's an order. It's a lawful order. Hey, Billy's in the house. All right. What's the big deal? Yeah, they want you to think it's no big deal. They want you to think it's no big deal. You just bend over anytime you see somebody with a costume on giving you directives. Just jump in the line if you don't want to get beaten. StreamYard link I dropped in the chat there. I think that would put you backstage. I could get one of you on here talking with me up here. Anybody? Did anyone try hitting the link and did it not work? Oh, Douglas. Oh, $184.50 speeding ticket 3 weeks ago. Did you contest it or did you just cough it up? Because you know, I think that could easily be beaten. A little diligence, you know. But it would feel good, you know. I don't know if you can contest it after you just got it. Did you pay it yet? Asking for proof of jurisdiction, you know. Where's the evidence? Where's the charging instrument? Ask them for ID. You need to know who you're talking to. They're seeking to do business with you. Who's the injured party? You know. I did well with the link drop. It's there. All right, cool. Thanks, Essendon. Somebody hit it. Hop up here with me. Let's talk about it. You have rights, cops have duties. First ticket in 20 years. They wouldn't give you a break. No, why would they? They don't show no mercy. Cough that one right up, and that goes on your permanent record. Like, oh yeah, pull that guy over. It's a shame though. Speeding. Then they're on a fishing expedition. You know, they get you on the side of the road. There's no emergency. You know, that'd be the first thing I ask when they you know, force a non-consensual encounter on you. Is what's the emergency? What's the emergency? And then you know, who should be asking who for identification? You know, at that point, they're the ones coming up to your car with a gun and asking you to produce documents. You should be asking them for documentation and their bond information. Did they carry insurance in case they interfere with someone's rights? You know, in the performance of their duties, they got to carry that bond. And but they make it really hard to access. Hey, Essendon. All right, let me see if I touch that. Ed. Oh. Sign in. What the hell? You've been kicked from the studio. What? Oh, I didn't want to do that. What the hell? I kicked her out of the studio. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, shit. Let me try this again. You have rights, cops have duties. Sorry, Essendon. Did not mean to do that. You're my moderator. Why would I kick you out of here? Jeez. Fucking shit. Moderator. Okay, look at this. Fucking shit. Cops have duties.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How's it going, man? Moderator. Back. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
It worked. You did
All
well.
right. Hey, Essendon.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, cool. I've never used this phone before for a panel, so I wasn't sure.
I
Okay.
can see you on my phone. I just can't see you yet on the large screen.
Yeah. I got the
No,
top
that's
half
okay.
of
It happens all the time with new times. Yeah. No biggie.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here waiting. Just
What's up?
letting you know that I can come in on the StreamYard that you put down there. Hey, no biggie. Used to it.
Oh, I got you on there, Essendon. I can see you, but I can't see.
I've been your moderator for so long I can't remember, but I'm here. So just do what you have to do. If you knock me out, I'll just come back.
Yeah, good. Sorry about that. I don't know how to get to the full screen so I can see everything on here. Oh, I did something there.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Going, man.
So, what's up, y'all?
I'm here. It worked. You did
Yeah,
well.
how's the weather there in Australia?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep.
I can hear you, man.
Okay, cool. I never used this phone before for panel, so I wasn't sure.
Okay.
I can see you on my phone. Okay, so I've turned that off so there's no echoes.
Okay, I'm trying to get a full screen here.
I've got
Here you
two people, but I have no audio.
I can hear you fine, Essendon. I can hear you just fine.
It's okay, it's probably my end. Hold up.
Yep.
And I just can't see you yet on the line. That's right. I'll just mute the phone. No, that's okay. It happens all the time with new times. Yeah. No biggie. I'm just sitting here waiting. Just letting you know that I can come in on the StreamYard that you put down. There. Yeah, sorry, I can't hear you on the phone.
Yeah,
I've got you on the big screen as well.
Can you hear me okay?
Over there.
Can you all hear me?
But just letting you know that StreamYard drops down and it's all good to go, okay? So I'm going to bang out of here and leave you to it.
Okay, thank you, Essendon. Yeah, you have rights, cops have duties. You got anything shorter I can call you?
You can call me just you have rights or just rights or whatever you want.
All right, man. Cool. Where are you at? What state are you in?
I'm at Nevada State.
Nevada. I lived there
Yeah.
a couple times. Yeah, I lived in Las Vegas a few different times.
I lived there on the street one year. Tried it
pretty
out.
cool. Oh,
I
it's
thought it'd be
homeless
warmer than Reno, and it was not warmer than Reno.
No?
No. It was like slightly warmer during the winter. I like living in Reno in the winter on the street. It's not that bad. I mean, it's cold and everything, but I like sleeping in the cold. No, I'm live on a panel, so. Sorry, my wife was talking to me. Yeah. I lived on the street in 2005, 2006, 2007, and I figured I would try Las Vegas one winter to see if it was better, but it was not better. It was even worse than Reno. Are you there? No. Hello, Earthica Stashi. I don't know if did I butcher that name. Sorry about that, or that title, I should say, or however you should say it. How you guys doing, everybody? Back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, more problems. I was just trying to make it bigger because I got these tiny little pictures, man, of you and me. I'm doing it on the phone to begin with because that's all I can get working. But
yeah, usually I don't even use phones or anything. I got one just for using like computery stuff on it. But so I have my friend help me with his cell phone usually when I'm doing a live panel or something. I've never tried this phone, and it actually is working pretty darn good.
Yeah, cool.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, I got mine working now, man. It took me an hour and a half to get the thing working in the first place, and it's my first time on StreamYard, so it's different than just doing a live. I guess the main difference is you could have somebody on the panel with you. Just a live on YouTube. It's just the comments coming in, which is cool. But yeah, go through.
You're around New York, huh?
Yeah.
Is that a hard state to live in right now?
Yeah, well, they're making it for me, man. It's almost impossible, I was doing all right. People could say it's higher taxes and this and that, but I didn't realize till I don't know, a year or so ago that it occurred to me to Google. It's ranked as the least free state in the country. The least free.
Wow.
That's not where I want to be. I want to be in where I can be the most free, to realize my potential in life, other than fucking learning how to defend against these criminals,
Yeah. I thought that Nevada was a pretty free state, but no, it's not. I don't think any of them are anymore. You know what I mean?
I didn't realize how bad it was. I knew it sucked, but I thought it was just the same as anywhere, and maybe I'll be a little better off here because I'm from here, But it don't have nothing to do with it, man. I got long hair, and I don't want to be a little slave, so I've been targeted.
Yeah, you look like you're like natural and down to earth and a good guy. I don't know, that's what sucks. There's not room for people that are natural and down to earth and good anymore.
Yeah, that's sad, huh?
Yes.
And I appreciate that too, man. Thanks, bro. Same to you. That's why we're here, it ain't right, the shit that's going on. And people have been slumbering on their rights for few generations, and we descended into complete despotism as a result of that. And nobody's interested in getting involved, taking action, even when it does affect them. Well, I'm just gonna go to prison for a year or 2 or 3. I don't want to. They're threatening me with 3 to 7. So
yeah,
it's sad, man. People think they got the chains are in their mind, largely, and they don't think it is possible to stand up to it. They think
if you're taught at school, then you're taught to like get straight A's, fit in, and compose yourself as if everybody else composes themselves in the same manner, and that's just not copacetic to a natural life. It's that's what teaches us all that it just makes us feel like we have to be better than others, so that way the masses are always trying to be better than others, so you better fall in line and do what you're told to do better, is what they all think. That's why they're thinking that way, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, yeah, like, just the fact of, assigning grades to a kid's child's performance, is that competition, air of competition to it, just like then when they leave there, that, well, if you make more money than your neighbor, then you're better than him,
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm having camera issues. I can't figure out where to put it with this. Too much light, and I don't have a real good place.
Yeah,
Let me try this.
You've been going to court for quite some time now, too, huh?
What's up?
You've been going to court for quite some time yourself.
Right now, just since 2002, 2022. Sorry.
I was gonna say 4 years. Is that all? Holy shit!
Yeah, that's a ton of. No, 2022. I got charged with battery on a peace officer. At a protest, I was protesting down the street from my house. It was just some shit, but I don't know. They were trying to make it seem like I'm protesting they were trying to make it look like I was protesting the fixing of water pipes. That's what I'm trying to say. But no, I've been protesting this guy harassing me who was just working on the water pipes that day that I was protesting. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? I think I saw that video. There's probably not too many out there with water lines protesting. Yeah, I do see what you're saying.
You probably did. It was where I got shoved by the cop, and then I shoved the cops. I said, "Don't push me." And my niece was recording, and my brother-in-law.
Yeah, you told him, "Get your fucking hands off of me."
Yeah, I said, "Don't fucking push me," or something like that. And then he fucking took me down, and I had to kind of like go with the flow and let him do that now because, when he pushed me, he never said I was under arrest, so that's how I know it's an unlawful push. Then after I pushed him back, he says, now he grabs me and slams me into the truck. He says, "Now you're under arrest for battery on a peace officer," or something like that. And so when I pushed him, yeah, I defended myself, but it's not like I was trying to kill the officer or nothing for pushing me. I just was using the force that was necessary. And then on top of it, I had to kind of let him slam me the second time is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like the first time all I was doing was yelling and asking for name and employee number, saying some cuss words. So when he pushed me, I knew he shouldn't have pushed me. That's why I retaliated with the defense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once I pushed him, then I figured he knew that he was going to try to use his fucking badge and shit to take me down. So I just kind of let him take me down then, you know what I mean? And then he told me I was arrested for battery on a peace officer and all this shit. But yeah.
You still fighting that one?
Yeah. There's a calendar court. I got this court in September to do jury selection, but it's all a load of shit. They've already got me pegged for guilty, even though I know I should be not, but.
Well, you have the right to defend yourself, get with whatever force, to stop someone from attacking you,
Yeah, the story is way bigger than it looks on the surface, and hardly anybody's paying attention to it. So it kind of seems like it's just a normal everyday thing, but it's been an accumulation of things, and I defended myself actually 3 times in this case, but they're only recognizing 2 defenses, and they're charging me for the third. I was being the public works guy got out of his truck and came at me. He was telling me he was going to stuff my camera up my ass, and I was walking backwards, telling him that I would defend myself. Stop telling me you're going to stuff my camera up my ass. Stop walking at me all nilly-willy. And he didn't stop walking at me, and he didn't stop telling me he was going to stick my camera up my ass while walking at me. So when he got close enough to touch me, I fucking shoved him. You know?
Yeah.
And then the other public works guy on scene, he fucking calls up the county commissioners and stuff, or the county managers or whatever, and tells them that, oh, an altercation had happened, but he leaves out the part where I'm being threatened and pursued. He only says that I shoved the public works guy. You know what I mean?
Lying motherfuckers, man.
Yeah. So basically, since he didn't fully disclose the entire thing that went on, the county commissioners and the county managers thought that I'm just some asshole out there pushing fucking older public works guys. You know, he leaves out the part where the guy was threatening and like pursuing me. And then,
You know what?
but the cops came that day. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the two deputies came that day, and they charged the guy with the. I showed them the videos, you know, and they charged the guy with threats and the ability to make good on the threat. But then they turned and charged me with battery for my defense that I just did right there. Right?
Yeah. No, it ain't right.
Well,
yeah, I follow you.
Yeah, not right, but yeah, you follow me. Well, they haven't picked up any charges on that. Not the threats of the public works guy. They haven't picked up no charges on him for that either, and they haven't picked up no charges on me for the battery, right?
Yeah.
But it was my defense, but they're calling it a battery. Well, the next day, we wake up in the morning. Me and my fellow journalist. He's actually my brother-in-law that lives around town.
Oh, that's cool.
Me and him are the only ones that are brave enough to fucking go watch the cops and go and fucking like use our voices and shit. But it also makes it to where we're the only ones targeted by the pigs. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people got to get off the sidelines, man. You know.
Yeah. No, there's a single girl here that she's been living here since she was 18, and I was 17 when she moved here. So we've been friends like our whole lives, right? Basically. Yeah. She's a single lady that lives in town, and they fucking mess with her really hard because she's poor. You know, she lives in a motorhome on somebody's property that lets her live there. You know what I mean? And I guess they think since she's single, poor, a woman, and lives in a trailer, that they can tell her what to do and all this other shit. We all travel with private plates. There's like 8 of us in a town of 200.
Oh, good, man.
That are traveling.
I'm the only one.
Yeah. You're the only one around you?
I'm taking a beating.
I bet, bro. You know,
3 felonies they came at me with so far.
3 felonies?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, I guess just for exercising my right to travel, and I guess it would have to be a felony for them to run me off the road. You know, they'd have to dream something up that they witnessed me in the commission of a felony, you know. So the first one was they ran me off the road, and outside of their territorial jurisdiction, for one thing, was on the Cataracts Indian Reservation. And the felony they dreamed up on that one was possession of a forged instrument. I forget what degree, whatever, but it was like a threat of like 9 years in prison. And I successfully defended against that. That's been dismissed with prejudice, along with every vehicle and traffic one they could think of. It's like 15 15 accusations there. One of them a felony, resisting arrest, the whole 9 yards on that. I beat that one, and then the other ones were when they beat me up in my driveway and stole my motorcycle. They came with felony bail jumping and assault on a police officer felony. I don't know, was that a felony there in Nevada? Assault on a police officer?
No, like I'm getting charged with battery on a peace officer, and they're charging me with a gross misdemeanor. It's a 365-day charge.
Well, yeah, that's like a class A misdemeanor. Here's a 1 year, but yeah, that's a class I forget what class felony, but it's like a threat of like 7 to 9 years in prison for in that bail jump. You know, the bullshit they're accusing me of, it added up to like 30 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's all from shit they're doing to me.
And you're pending that right now?
Well, I beat the one. I got that off my plate, and then this other court's playing some real fucking games. You know, I've been I was kidnapped in June, and I was falsely in prison for 18 days. And yeah, they beat me. They kicked my door in, man. They left my house wide open, you know, hoping everything gets looted and ransacked, you know, because they always just try. They can't support their position in courts, you know, or on paper. So they want to beat me down, you know, and weaken my position to get me to give up, you know, or make my life so miserable that going to prison seems like, you know, it'd be an improvement in my life. Yeah. And, you know, no body cams, no dash cams. They're obstructing the FOIA process. You know, they don't give anything to FOIA that is going to incriminate them. You know, they give me a bunch of bullshit. It's like a fucking red herring. But I'm not done. I'm not done with the FOIA. I'm gonna keep on them, and then I'm gonna document the non-compliance with FOIA, because what's the point of the body cams? You know, if the fucking public can't access them, it's the Freedom of Information law.
Okay, now this is the exact reason why our country was designed in the premise that it was designed in, because you see how you're saying you're talking about FOIA, and they're doing the same thing here. They only give you like they'll only give you the red herrings, but they won't give you nothing substantial that could incriminate them.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the thing is so now what you're having to do is you're having to go through due process on fucking FOIA before you can even get to the process of fucking defending yourself against criminal matters. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
they waste your time.
This is part of their little ploy, and this is exactly why the founding fathers designed our country, was because they knew for a fact that defending our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was a real time-taking task. They knew that it was going to take up our entire lives trying to fight this shit. So they designed it to where the district attorney was supposed to fight our cases for us, not prosecute our cases against us.
Yeah, the public prosecutor, right.
There was never supposed to be the public defenders. That's why there is no public defender office. All public defenders are appointed through the district attorney's office. So that's the sign that tells us that there was never supposed to be public defenders, that the true public defender is the district attorney. They are supposed to only be working for the people and never against the people. They're supposed to be like if Elon Musk or something ran our mother off the street, him being a CEO of a corporation, the district attorney would be the people's attorney against these corporations like the United States of America and Tesla Corporation and other corporations acting within our country. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, because George Gordon was talking about that, and I really didn't know exactly what he meant, but I get it now with you saying that, because there's a difference between if you look in the laws, the old laws and stuff, it says about a public prosecutor, but you never hear him use that term anymore, public prosecutor. It's a prosecuting attorney. And there is no public prosecutor, and that's because of what you were saying there.
But, you know, when the government is supposed to be designed for the people, by the people, and is supposed to be the public service is a public trust and shall be held for the sole benefit of the people. That's when, like, if I harm you, say we're neighbors and I don't like your dog keeps coming over and shit in my yard, so I kicked it in its guts the other day and you saw it. So now you want to press charges against me for kicking your dog, but it was in my yard. So we have a big dispute here where I actually kicked your damn dog, which I shouldn't have never done. And your dog was in my yard like it shouldn't really be. So we have a dispute here. They're not supposed to take us into court and help you prosecute me or me prosecute you. They're supposed to only mediate the differences between us and see where we can come to an agreement to help each other out instead of going against each other, and see where they can remedy both parties to make both parties happy.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I'm glad. You know, that's good. I'm glad you explained it that way. It's supposed to be a venue for impartial dispute resolution, not whoever called the cops first is the plaintiff and the other guy's the defendant. You know.
Yes, because at the end of the day, we're both people. We're both the public. So we shouldn't have a public officer helping you, since you're the one that called the cops, prosecute me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So it's then you'd have to you know, shell out a bunch of money to file a counterclaim or something, but there's the police are siding with whoever called them. That's all a bunch of bullshit.
Yes, and it's all done on the basis of hearsay, because all you did was call them up and tell them that I kicked your dog, but you never informed them that your dog was in my yard.
Yeah, right. Well, they should have an investigation, you know, if there's evidence of an injury in fact, you know. But if you say I kicked your dog, you know, and I say, yeah, I did kick it, you know, it was in my yard, and you know, I got a cat over here or something, you know, then there's no controversy. There's no controversy. Yeah, I did kick the dog, but you know, it's not supposed to be in my yard, you know, and I didn't hurt the dog. I just kicked it lightly, you know, to get it out of the yard, you know. But there's no controversy then.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What they should be doing is settling controversy, not creating more, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, they're not the people. They're warring against it. They're warring against the people.
The premise of our country was the fact that we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness because we're human living flesh. And man, through philosophy, has known that it would take what am I trying to say here? It would be, you got a spider crawling down behind you. Do you see that spider crawling up and down behind you?
Me?
That's cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right there over your shoulder, there's a spider that crawled down its web and then crawls right back up its web.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed it.
Looked like a big one, too.
No kidding. You could see it. It must have been a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what you were saying there, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the premise of this country and how the founding fathers tried to set it up to where somebody fought our battles for us. If we pay, you know, we were supposed to employ services to fight our battles for us so that we could spend our time enjoying our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Right, it's the exact opposite what they're doing. And
yes, exactly opposite.
The life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's been determined, you know, by legal scholars that by the pursuit of happiness, they meant property. Pursuit of happiness means property.
Yeah, you know? Also the liberty is property too, and the happiness is property too. The happiness, the liberty, and the life it's all property. Because for one, the flesh sack that we're walking around in, our bag of bones, is our property.
I just heard that term yesterday for the first time. The flesh sack from Abraxas. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Oh, hell yeah. I love Abraxas. He's cool.
Yeah, I just heard that yesterday, and then again today. But, yeah, he's got some good stuff. Got me thinking.
Yeah, but he's really good. He is really good. It's sad because the things that he preaches about is the truth, but it's like we're flesh and we are bound to die, and we're trying not to. We're trying to live a life of happiness, one of a fulfilled life where we have our children and we have our possessions, and we're trying to stick to ourselves for the most part. But it seems like if we stand on rights, then people are they teach us about rights, and then if we learn about them, then they try to damn us for it. And like Abraxas is, he really understands the truth about these things. But those of us that are brave are the ones that are going towards the prison cell and the death faster. It's really sad.
Yeah, it is. They used to teach rights in school. Kind of ironic. I came across a book. I don't remember where I got it, but it was civil government. It was about the Constitution and rights, and it was from 1880, I think. But it was from Collins School, which was on the other side of the block from the Collins courthouse that I was entangled with for almost a year. An old book about they used to teach kids that stuff. I don't know when exactly they stopped, but it goes to show it's a damn shame. They don't teach kids about their rights. The government's only express purpose is to protect the rights and property of the people, but they don't want you learning about them rights. And don't you dare stand up for them. If you find out later in life that you have rights, and you try to decide to stand on them, you're they try to crucify you.
Yeah. They have a good way of crucifying us too. Not just try to. They have a good way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah, they're exact opposite of their express purpose. They're out there to make sure that you don't have any rights. And if you do find out about think you have rights, you start telling the other slaves about the rights. They're gonna beat the hell out of you. Try to put you in prison. If that doesn't work, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
The beautiful thing about this whole thing is that it was all based on self-evident truths, and that when you start talking about we made government to protect our rights, then that leaves the door open to talk about the fact that about the consent of the governed, and who's the employee and who's the people. You know what I mean? Who's the agent and who's the people?
Right.
That's the beauty of self-evident truth, is that they'll tell you for their own heroism that they're here to protect us and our rights, but then they do the opposite. But that's where self-evident truth is on our side to say, hey, you're the employee, you're the one, and we're the consent, you're the governed. You know what I mean? Or we're the consent, or we're the governed, so it's our consent that provides them, the governors, per se, to have the power that they have, or whatever. I don't know how to say it. Sorry about that.
It's like if the power is inherent in the people, and if their power is derived through the consent of the governed, then I don't consent. So therefore, I'm not governed. I don't want to be governed. Govern like on a tractor trailer. Truck driver, a governor on the truck. It controls it. It
holds it back.
It restricts it. So and
restricts it.
Means mind control. Man means mind. Govern means control. And but but if if like I hired a kid to work in my yard or something, say, and I'm going to pay him so much an hour, and I need him to pick up these sticks and mow the lawn and this and that. We got a deal, that whether it's written or not, that's like a contract, an agreement. It's a benefit both of us. But if he all of a sudden starts telling me, what to do, and got me picking up the sticks and I'm mowing the lawn, then what the hell am I paying this kid for, So I think you're fired, that means I'm not paying him anymore, But if he kept coming there, he probably wouldn't keep coming there, after a while. So I think that's how we got to to fire the government, is to stop paying them. We don't not happy with their performance, then stop paying them, which pretty much means taxes, property taxes are the root of the problem. We're paying people to extort money out of us by paying that.
Yeah, but they started out with taxes. It's gone beyond taxes now. Now we're actually funneling our money into their private for-profit bank accounts. Okay, because it's like there's a town called Fallon in Nevada. If you go to Fallon's courthouse, it says the Justice Court of Churchill County, right, on the wall. But when you get the paperwork, it says the Justice Court of New River Township. And you're wondering, where the hell is this fucking New River Township? Because this is Fallon, Nevada, and it's the county of Churchill. So, but what they've done is they prosecute you in the Churchill County Justice Court building. But when they do the paperwork, all the money goes to this New River Township private for-profit corporation. They only give the little chunk. Like you're fine. Like say you got caught for driving without, and they gave you $1,000 fine. Well, usually the fine would only be $190 for that, but they've made it $1,000 now, so that the state, or so that the New River Township gets mostly $1,000, and then only the $190 goes to the actual Churchill County. So the Churchill County still thinks that they're getting what they were supposed to get, but the majority of this big money is going to this private company, and they're running all of these cases under every single township, every single county in our country. You can look, keep an eye on all your paperwork. Make sure the paperwork is titled the same as what the building says that they're prosecuting you in, because usually it's not anymore. And I don't know how hard it would be to find this out in New York, because New York has so many different counties and it's so populated there. But out here, it's easy to tell.
It's always like a subtle duality, that most people don't notice, because they think, oh, well, that's just the way they do it. They never really question it, and subjected to scrutiny. Such as the state of New York, But when you're say you're traveling and you're coming from Pennsylvania and you get to New York, when you cross that line, it doesn't say welcome to the state of New York. It says welcome to New York. Because the state of, if it's of something, then it's not that thing. That's the corporation. When it says of, it sounds like just a fancy way they're talking about it. It says state of New York, county of Erie, office of sheriff. But that's good, because it's not what it is. It's something else. But it's so similar that nobody notices it. I mean, most people don't even notice that their name's being used in all capital letters. When they teach you in third grade that your name starts with a capital first letter and then lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. Most people live their whole lives never even noticing that. So they don't notice, the other stuff like that. And, one good one I noticed is the court building here in town has been fucking with me for about 4 years now. It used to be the American Legion. And I don't know what they did with all the vets. They kicked them out on the street or something, but it's still got the painted flag on the wall real big there, by the parking lot. But that's just red, white, and blue representation of the American flag. But when you go in there, it's all, and you look at all the the workers there, the public servants. You won't see that an American flag on any of their uniforms or in the courtroom. It's got a gold border around it. You know,
Yeah,
and
American
on the
law order.
uniform, it's backwards. It's backwards. It's got the stars in the left-hand corner. The flag's going backwards. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. So they're funneling the money right out of their communities that they swore to protect. Then, huh? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, they're giving a lot of money to themselves and not giving the majority of the money like they should to the county, like they should. And everything's they're all designed this way to let it happen. I don't understand how they're doing it on such a grand scale, but it's because it's been done through force for so long that people are so scared to even say anything about it. But
yeah.
I know it's happening because Fallon, Nevada is in Churchill County, and their county courthouse is running their paperwork under New River Township. And then Pershing County is Lovelock, Nevada, and in Lovelock it's New River Township. So there's New River Township, and then there's, what did I say? There's New River Township, and then Lake Township. That's what that Pershing County one is, Lake Township. So if you get in trouble in Lovelock, Pershing County, you go to the Pershing County Justice Courthouse, you get the paperwork ran through this Lake Township. And that's when you look it up on the Better Business Bureau type thing, it says that Lake Township is a for-profit private company.
Yeah, you could look them up on Dun and Bradstreet. And
yeah.
Yeah, they're corporations. So
yeah, I can't remember what the stupid new internet one is, but the stupid like Duns and Bradstreet's is the old style looking up the Duns numbers and stuff like this. But they got websites that do this not on such a documented level, but like on a regular level. I can't remember what the website is, but I'll get back to you in a couple of days and tell you which one it is. But it starts with an M, and it's pretty much you can look up any corporation on there and figure it out without having to like look in the Duns and Bradstreets and all that stuff, because most people don't even know how to do that.
We got here Liberty, and I can't read. How you doing, man? What is it? What is your name? Liberty and
niggers kill niggers. I hate niggers. America for niggers. Yeah, America. Howdy,
What's
folks.
that?
How you doing, folks?
what are y'all boozed up?
Yeah,
Is that booze or is it poison? What the fuck is it?
I don't know. I'm drinking whatever I find, man.
Oh, it's for you to drink? Okay, well, if it's for you to drink, it's fine.
Postage stamp.
It was like a bottle of piss
Yeah,
on the side of the road.
put it close to the camera for me, homie.
Huh?
Put it closer to the camera so I can see those little Post-it notes. I want to see what you're trying to say. I would like to know your words.
Yeah,
Can't you see them?
you know, I don't believe in censorship, man, but refrain from using that N word. It's gonna get us barred off of here. And
All right.
Yeah.
Of
I
course.
don't believe in calling people N-words, but at the same time, if you want to use the word, it's your choice.
All right.
yeah,
I won't
You
use
know?
the word.
Human beings are pretty beautiful, special thing, because we've all been here. We're all here for a purpose to, there's evil on this earth that is always going to try to be evil, and each one of us is sent here to try to do the better. We have two choices. We can either do right or wrong. So the more times we choose to do right, that combats evil. Okay.
What was the?
So each of us are here for a purpose. So they teach us all these things, like these words like spick and nigger and all these other words, but those words are not human words. those words dehumanize people. They don't humanize people. They dehumanize people for the betterment
Right.
of the propaganda monster, not for us, not for our blood. Calling somebody a nigger does not do anything good for our blood.
Oh yeah, true. I'm
Well,
I'm
it's
here
just
for like
calling,
I'm
calling
here to
people
find a
that,
date for the night. I thought this was like a dating stream.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
why'd you think it was a dating stream?
he's out of here.
Homeboy's gone, huh?
Yeah, yeah. It's not a dating stream. It's not a, I don't know what those notes said or anything because it's tiny pictures. But I think he's probably trying. I think he's trying to get the shit flagged or something. Coming on here talking that shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to like prove a message or trying to see if we were gonna be on his side about things. But like, I didn't think that I wasn't on his side about things. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say that, call people niggers and shit when that's not what it's about.
Yeah. I think
No.
people do that to try and to get our channels flagged. I think with shit like that. I seen in the comment sections that they'll do similar shit like that too. And man, they're coming from all sides trying to defame me, man. But yeah, maybe he had
Big
good
time.
intentions. He didn't express them very well. The freedom of speech doesn't mean I gotta listen to everyone's bullshit whenever they fucking want. Sure, there's someone else that could contribute
Yeah,
something
no.
to the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, you and me
racial,
didn't promise just because we stand up for people's rights doesn't mean we promise to uphold them.
yeah, racial slurs. That just it divides people. It keeps them pitted against each other, so they could be easily enslaved and oppressed.
That's what I was trying to point out to him, that it doesn't humanize us, it dehumanizes us.
Yeah, certainly. Looks like we lost a couple eyeballs on here too. I don't know, well, because of that guy. But
Yeah, that guy
yeah,
plus.
I don't know where he came from. I don't see him in the comments section. His name is Liberty something or other.
How can you go saying the name, like, how could you have your name Liberty something and then sit there and say the N-word, dehumanizing people?
Yeah, I think it was, that name, that was just, yeah, Essendon always screen them. You're right. I'm just learning. This is my first stream. Are you a mod on this? Is it different on StreamYard than on YouTube Live? But, yeah. That was my third guest, my first one. My mod, and then I accidentally kicked her off. That got you have rights, caps, and duties. That's going well, and then some idiot trying to stir up trouble for the third one and kicked off. So I'm learning. It's my first one, first stream married. Yeah.
Doesn't it suck that we're having a conversation and then we had to deal with that sickness?
Yeah, as if we're not up against enough. We got to deal with YouTube censoring our shit. Racing comments, fucking with the
alcohol.
They got idiots like that, trolls. The one video I put out, man, there was so many trolls came out on that video, man, that it was unbelievable. They were teaming up on me, man. There was like 3 of them, and so many comments. I remember a couple of the names of them. And they're all like, it was like Staghorn, the Druid was one of them. Neon Warlock was one. And yeah, just, man, calling me a sovereign citizen, which I mean that's like that guy that just came on here with his bullshit. That's calling somebody a domestic terrorist, and it's pretty much saying that yeah, it's dehumanizing. Then they're saying that it's okay if I'm abused and even murdered, or imprisoned, indefinitely because they're putting that label on me.
I was raised on a Native American reservation, the Shoshone Reservation, and it's a sovereign nation. I already know that I have a right to be sovereign. I don't have to call myself a citizen. I tell the cops right to their face, I say, no, fuck no, I'm not a citizen. And then on top of it, they try to ask me if I'm a sovereign citizen. I say, you can't be both, you know what I mean? I don't really get into the part where they try to call a sovereign citizen a terrorist group. I just tell them I have a right to be sovereign, and that's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just say it, where the hell did you get that from, because that's pretty much a threat, when they're saying that, that's a threat. And again,
Yeah.
it goes with I accept no titles. I accept no titles. I'm a man.
Yeah. Perceptions are a big key to all of this because, like, you might have never heard of the word sovereign before somebody called you a sovereign citizen. I don't know. But to me, I've known the word sovereign since I was a little boy. So I understand the word sovereignty. And those people that are using the word sovereign citizen, I don't think of them trying to label me as a terrorist group because I don't even let my mind go there because, for one, I already know for a fact I have a right to be sovereign. I know for a fact that them calling me a sovereign citizen means that they have no idea about sovereignty, and therefore they don't even know exactly what they're talking about. So I don't think that them calling me a sovereign citizen would ever be able to hurt me when I already know I have a right to be sovereign. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And yeah, I knew the word sovereign too since I was a child because I live right by the Indian reservation here. And I think it says right on the sign when you're entering into that territory that it's sovereign, but I think it's debatable as to, if it is anymore, but
not sovereign in any way, shape, or form.
Huh?
No, the Native Americans nation is not sovereign in any way, shape, or form. They are one of the most oppressed peoples in our land. The genocide continues to this day. I was raised on a reservation. I was raised on Yamba Shoshone Reservation in Nevada. Out here where I'm from, like the nearest Walmart's 80 miles away. The reservation is 28 miles from me, off to the east somewhere.
Yeah.
The land is spread out here so that it's not as conglomerated because like Native American tribes in like Washington State up by Tacoma, Washington. I lived up there for a second, and you couldn't even tell when you entered the reservation and when you didn't enter the reservation. All the cities and the blocks and everything and all the jurisdictions were all conglomerated into like basically one big thing where you would have to look for the designated areas. You know what I mean? And that's how it is in New York too.
It's like that in the
You'll never run out
of look in the towns. Like some houses are on the reservation, some aren't. It's all mixed together. But here, the borders are lined out. You're on the reservation about a half mile from my house here. You could see it. Yeah, we see the tree line on the other side of the field there, on the other side of the railroad tracks. That's an Indian reservation. But yeah, some of those lines are gray areas too. And they're pointed out by like the postal boundaries. You see different lines, and then you'll see it's like all bulked out. The modern map that you'll see is it's like a big square, but the postal boundaries are a lot older than that, and you see where the different hamlets and stuff are actually different territories as far as the post office is concerned.
Yeah, like different structure design and everything, huh?
Yeah, weird shapes. They tried to use like easy shapes for the lines they got now that they use, but then there's always overlapping jurisdictions, like as far as the schools and the garbage pickup and things like that. Whenever you look, you look for the different like the gray areas and stuff. That's where you find the weak spots, and it starts poking holes in the the official narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they just want to they want to assume control over you know, everything that sits on the land, and by saying that it's in their territory. You know, well, is there anywhere, you know, anywhere I could live that's not, you know, controlled by one of these gangs? You know.
Yeah. Out here is pretty nice. You know, it's fairly nice. I could only imagine if I was living in blissful ignorance, I'd probably be doing a lot better right now. But since I know about, you know, rights and wrongs, and I'm kind of a protester. But other than that, yeah, out here, like where the town I live in right now has no deputy, no police officer, no nothing like that. It's an unincorporated area.
That sounds like paradise.
Yeah, it's partial paradise. The deputy comes into town like once every Saturday, or whenever they're called by sheep slaves around here. I go and bitch out the people that call the cops. Like these people down the street from my house, they called them because their cat had like an abscess in its eye, and its eye had a tumor that was like grown out of its head or something.
Wow.
And they called law enforcement to come and like take their cat for them, and it's like, what the hell? So your cat has a thing growing out of its head, so you call the cops to come and deal with your cat. What the fuck kind of shit is that? You know?
They've been watching television their whole life. That's all they know how to do is call the police.
Yeah, plus they're like, oh, my feelings. I can't, you know, like they can't. There's a dude here in town that, you know, is a rancher that his parents live on a ranch outside of town. If you have a cat or a dog that has something illness like that, they have to be put down. Yeah, you don't really want to do it because of your feelings, but call that guy, not the cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they don't, you know, they don't want people to know how to conduct themselves without, you know, it's like a child calling their mom every time, you know, about something. I don't know. It's pretty sad. But you know,
it's one thing to
call that you know, somebody called that a person matching your description, you know, was acting suspicious. Like, oh yeah, that's nice. Go talk to them. I'm under no obligation to assist you in your investigation. You know.
Yeah.
Go have an investigation.
Yeah,
that's what they do. They get a complaint about someone, and their investigation is go right and put their fucking hands on. You know, that's their investigation. You know, talk to whoever called you. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know, that's one of the nasty things about you know, a lot of people think that since they've been doing it for so long, you know, they did it to your grandparents, they did it to your parents. So most people think that they can do it to you. And like the way they treat our roads, those roads are for the people, by the people. We're supposed to be able to use those roads for our betterment. And they got all sorts of terms and conditions on our roads trying to act like we have to ask to use them and stuff like this.
I know.
People,
man.
It is. It's disgusting. And people these days, they think, oh, well, the cops beat my grandpa down for not getting a registration. They stole my dad's Camaro for not getting a registration, so I better get a registration for my Subaru.
No, it's like when? When are you going to take a stand? Your grandfather's abused, your father was abused. Time to take a fucking stand, you know? Because, you know, they only have been granted the authority by the people, where the powers inherent in the people, to protect their rights and property. So, you know, part of that would be seen to regulate commerce, you know, because if you're running logging trucks down that road that belongs to the people, that's an extraordinary use, you know, and that's who could be regulated, you know, and get a tax out of them, you know, and with money to fill potholes for, because those logging trucks, you know, are beating up the road. And the little community, they're not benefiting from the logging industry, you know. So that's an extraordinary use, and that's the only purpose of them, to regulate commerce. So extraordinary use, you know, is compensated back to the roads. Other than that, private use of the roads comes, you know, the maintenance of it comes from the tax on gasoline. So it's directly proportionate to the use of it. is out of the you know, a lot of that the price of a gallon of gas is tax.
Yeah.
Not
You
for
know, the thing about it, most people don't even realize, yeah, we got the usage of the road for like cars and this and that, but most people don't even realize that the conveyance of the day back before they even knew how to do the wheel was walking. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And most people don't even realize that most of our roads in this country were here before 1776. Okay? And then on top of it, so when our original conveyance of the day was our feet walking, we made roads because we traveled the path regularly, and then those roads became used as trade routes when we realized that they were easy to walk on. And then when we started getting cars and shit, we had to build the roads easier for a car to roll on. So now the roads got paved and shit, so they weren't just a walking trail that we walked from years of uses of travel. So then, but what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, these roads were made for walking. And if a person is walking down the road today in the lane, people will like honk at them and say, "Get the fuck out of the road." Well,
I know.
the people have a right to walk in the fucking lane of travel, and you have a gas and a brake so that you can speed up and slow down for other travelers on the road. And walking in one lane is not blocking the road because they can go around utilizing the fucking passing lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not only that, you know, a lot of these roads are not really accessible to pedestrians. So for me to travel down there, you know, is my right of passage of public easement. I have to be in an automobile, or I'm going to get run over, or there's no path on the side for pedestrian travel.
Yeah.
You know, to say, yeah, I need to be licensed and registered. That's ridiculous. You know, and well,
They
hail versus
license them they're slaves under slave code.
The
You know,
man has no duty to the state since it receives nothing therefrom, and you know, the roads and highways existed, long antecedent to the state, and you can't buy a piece of property and decide that you're gonna put a garage in the lane of the road that's in front of your house, you know, because that's a right of easement, because that's not there's not a different part of the sidewalk is pedestrian easement, and the road is belongs to the police. If you buy a house, the property line goes right to the center of the road, the center line.
yeah.
And then it's established that 30 feet of that, I think, is for public
50 feet
easement.
in Nevada. Yeah.
It's not the road part and the sidewalk part. It's however many feet from the center of that road.
What they do here at this state is they provide 50 feet, and then 15 feet of that is it's like 30 of the feet is the road, the half of the road, and then 15 feet is the easement, something like that. So wherever the math lies out in that, you know what I mean? But
right.
It's
that's
50
how they break it down, but it's all still just the easement, That's just how they use the easement.
Yeah.
And when I go out my driveway, I don't see a sign at the end of the driveway that says entering a regulated regulated
easement.
road, licensed and registered only. I don't see a sign like that at the end of my driveway. Do you?
No.
So okay, well, I guess I'm good going out there. If I go down to the end of the block, though, I don't see a sign. Well, warning, a restricted area, must have papers, subject to inspection. I don't see it there either. So at what point, am I supposed to be, oh, wait a minute now, I'm entering into a restricted, regulated, private area.
Yeah, no.
It's an easement, Somebody couldn't have a big piece of land, and the guy next to him buys a big piece of land and they're butted up to each other. If a bunch of them did that in a row, you could have to go 1,000 miles all the way to get around it. Those existing roads easement for everybody's usage. People's.
You work your ass off. You fucking tried really fucking hard. You need a Chevy truck because you need to fucking haul some shit on your land. And fucking you go down to the dealership to buy a Chevy truck, but you can't take it home. What kind of shit world would that be?
Well, most people don't buy them when they go down to the Chevy dealership. They want you to get that Chevy truck that you got to get on payments, so you don't really own it. The dealership does, because then the dealership can attach stipulations to it and conditions of the lease policy, such as being a licensed driver and registering it and having it insured and everything, because they have a vested interest in it, so they could do that. But when I buy an old pickup truck, that's my property, then they can't do that. Nobody's doing that. So I mean, that knocks like 80% of drivers out. Excludes them from the right to travel because they don't own their automobile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good ploy that they're playing, isn't it?
Yeah, for them.
It's not good for us. It's not good for us. It's good for them, is what I mean.
Yeah. They want to make that more and more too, because then it'll be such a small percentile of people that even could be exercising their right to travel, and how many of them are really gonna, so the less that's even possible for, the better, and people just they don't want to admit that they've been duped, for one thing, and most of them don't even qualify because how many, if you go look on the interstate through a major city, what percentage of people you think actually own their automobiles on there? Most of them are leased, I think.
Oh, big time. There's probably out of the 200 people in the town that I live in, out of the newer like cars that are older than 2015, I would say 6 people probably own their car out of 200.
And how many people are exercising their right to travel? Did you say 8?
8, yeah. Yeah, 8.
So 2 of them don't own their automobiles out of that 8?
No, all of us that are exercising our rights to travel are riding hoopties.
Well, 8 out of 200, I mean, that's spectacular.
My van, I think, is a 2003 or something like that, and it's a real hoopty-ass Dodge Caravan. $300 special.
Mine's a 2001. I paid $250 to get the window replaced on it. Wonder how
Shit,
long
I didn't replace it on my van. I put a fucking piece of metal tin off of a roof. I fucking put the metal tin up against there, had my friend hold it while I went in there and drew it with a fucking Sharpie marker, the outline of the window. And then I fucking just cut that a little bit, like 3 inches wider than where I marked it with the marker, and then fucking just used self-tapping screws to fucking.
Can you see through it?
I put my window in. What's up?
You could see through it, or it's metal?
Oh, no, I can't see through it.
That's it.
It's the rear quarter panel.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the window.
Yeah, it was a rear quarter panel window.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not the driver's seat.
Yeah, not the 2 front windows or the windshield. I got those.
Yeah,
but I also got
my face up. $250 and $300 to get it out of the impound. Another $100 for the tow. But I didn't pay a penny in fines in court. But and I am going to seek restitution for all those. Go to the tow yard and they're like, "Oh, we got here's the bill for it." I said, "I'll give that to the police. I didn't order that to be towed."
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're providing some kind of service. Oh, thanks a lot. It's like the encyclopedia salesman, came to your house and you're not interested in encyclopedias, he starts beating you over the head with them. You're going to buy these fucking encyclopedias.
Yeah, nobody'd appreciate that.
Right. Like the jerky boys, you know, hey, put the guy's head underneath the fucking hood. I see you gonna buy this fucking car and break your fucking legs.
Yeah.
We don't do that kind of operation, you know.
I've been traveling since 2015 was the last time I tried to register a vehicle,
Oh
quote
man.
unquote. But from 2015 all the way to 2018, I didn't use any plates at all. And then in 2018, I started using private plates, like Trent Goodbody's private plates.
Yeah, is Trent near you in Nevada there?
Oh yeah, he is. You know, he's a good friend of mine. I was talking to him since I've been talking to Freedom from Government since before Ron Paul ran against Obama the first time. And then in 2015, well, I met him in person in 2017, I believe it was. It was 2017 when I met him instead of just talking on the internet. And then I talked him into. I really kind of told him about Nevada in like 2013, and then between 2013 and 2015, he made the decision to move to Nevada, and then he got a piece of land up in a different county, and that kind of fell through. Not the land part, but just the community he was trying to build of freedom lovers. You know what I mean? But then the county code enforcement was really giving him a hard time, which since then I think that he's handled them pretty damn good, even though they charged him with wiretapping because he recorded a phone call between him and the county code enforcement officer, and then they tried to tell him that he was making threats to her even though he wasn't. This was back in like 2016 when all this was happening. So between 2015 and 2017. And then, so he's been battling that shit for a long time, but he just barely got off of probation off of that. They actually were going to try to fucking give him some shit, so he took a deal on it, which I would have too if I was him, because we're in this day and age that we're in, you know, where it's a feudal time and they own the court.
Yeah, but you got to make up your mind to not do that, because if you could be swayed, you know, from your position with their tricks and their threats, you know, then they're always going to get that result out of us. You know, they'll just up the ante till they get you to do it. You know.
Trust me, we're noticing that big time. I can't really talk to you about it that much because I don't want to really give up all of our positions out here. But
yeah. Here, about it is, man, we could talk about that.
Yeah, you know, the thing is about it out here, it's just there's people that were using private plates that no longer are using private plates, even though they should be using private plates, but they decided to go towards the registered plates just because they've been basically buckled into slavery. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they've been beaten and intimidated, and you know, that's what they're doing to me. But you know, I know
it comes down to what you were talking about. You know, because some of our biggest heroes are being buckled right now because of what you were just saying. How they, you know, it's easier to just buckle when they've been doing this shit to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know exactly how you worded it a little while ago.
I'm having a hell of a time, you know, but I already established my principles, you know, and I hope you know, they're never going to come to their senses, you know. They're never going to admit they're wrong, but I did beat one, and it was my first time standing on my own in court, and it was a felony on the table, you know. The stakes were high, and I got through it, dismissed with prejudice. But
Good.
yeah, the other one, they don't want to They don't want to back off so easy. That they double down. They double down and up the ante again. They might just kill me. Fucking
I feel the same way right now.
robbing
You
me
know, I
in
feel
the
the same.
hospital. They fucking kicked my door in. I've been falsely in prison 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to force me into jail right now, and I don't know what the fuck they're trying to plan for me in their fucking little piece of shit jail, but I don't even want to think about it. But, you know, I'm the only one that fucking is standing up against their bullshit, so why not, you know? Then I got my wife in here that's crippled and shit, and she needs me and shit, and I'm fucking a protester because of my fucking better nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Hope to get through it. I got I'm gonna sue him for false arrest and false imprisonment. There's
Wish you the best of luck on that.
yeah, I have to. Otherwise, I'm approving it, and it's not okay. They falsely
The
imprisoned
district
me.
attorney should be filing your lawsuit for you. That's what I was trying to say earlier, you know.
Yeah, I can't get any because I'm in too deep. They don't mind throwing one of these municipal police corporations under the bus, but they always want to walk away with the bar members, in the courts looking squeaky clean, and they're far from
Yeah.
it. They're far fucking from it. They're the root of the problem, really. So
Have you seen my video? Did you see my video where I called the bar, state bar in Nevada, and the lady there admitted that there are no lawyers, that there's only registered attorneys, licensed attorneys, what she said?
no, I didn't get to that one yet. But I like the one that you called the state troopers and said about the sheriffs. Wasn't that you? About you needed them to do something about crimes that were being committed, and they said that they wouldn't. Was that you?
I think so, but that was when I called about Ironton, Ohio. I called the state trooper of Ohio.
Yeah, that was
Tried
a good
to
one.
tell me to handle the fucking Ironton Police Department that was being unlawful.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I proved the same point. With the state trooper came to my house, and I said, yeah, I got this one police agency out of their jurisdiction, and then you got the sheriff's office deputies, rolling my motorcycle down the driveway, arrested me without a warrant and stealing my motorcycle. I said, where are all the good cops? Who do you complain to about that? Because they won't, you can't complain to a state trooper about the sheriff. They won't hear it. They'll tell, oh, you got to take it up with them, and then they investigate themselves and they find no wrongdoing. So they're not protecting the people, against these criminal gang members, that are committing crimes against the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess. But they just flat out refuse. They won't, they laugh at you. You tell them you want to complain about a crime that was committed against you. Oh, who did it? Oh, yeah, Officer, Schmedley. Oh, well, yeah, I can't take a complaint on him. I'm not going to arrest him. But nothing, outright lies and hearsay. They'll come and beat the hell out of me. Rob me, put me in the hospital. Falsely imprison me. And there's no probable cause. There's no probable cause. They're just
they try to claim that they don't have the jurisdiction to do that. They try to claim that that's above their pay grade when they have to go like from the Ohio State Troopers and go and arrest a Ironton, Ohio cop. But if somebody in Ironton, Ohio needs to be arrested that's not a cop, and the cops can't handle it themselves, the state troopers will come into fucking Ironton to help the Ironton police arrest somebody in a flash.
Exactly. They're so full of shit, man. And now I've been studying the law. It's clear to me that they just make it up as they go along. Whatever suits their agenda on that particular day, they make it up as they fucking go along. And they'll move on you or I with violence, and falsely imprison us. And, what are we expected to do? To prove ourselves innocent? But then, when it's the other way around, you're trying to make a complaint about one of them, they'll say, "Oh, well, I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened." They'll say.
No, if you make a complaint about harassment to them, they will turn around and tell the county that you have been harassing them and start prosecuting you for harassment because they totally hide the part where they were harassing you and just use your complaints and your fucking protests to say that you're harassing them.
Yeah, they're fucking liars. It's like, oh, so-and-so said this. Okay, that's nice. Do you have any evidence to support that claim? They're fucking liars, man. However bad they're coming at with these fraudulent accusations, that aren't even charges. They're initiating actions and prosecuting them in these courts where the district attorney's office isn't even involved. But however thick and heavy they're laying it on, I think that's directly proportionate to how dirty they did you. So if they're accusing me of felonies. I think they committed felonies against me.
They did.
Yep, they did. And I'm supposed to prove myself innocent. Okay, I'd love to. Let me get that body cam footage, that dash cam footage. Oh, that's all being oh, they weren't wearing them. He forgot to wear it that day. Or it wasn't in their policy at that time. Okay, yeah. So there's no evidence then. Well, okay, I got evidence of my injuries. I got witnesses that could attest to my injuries. Mm-hmm. Oh, they won't allow me to be heard. I'm denied an opportunity to be heard. Yeah. Just want to keep going round and round. How many fucking huh?
I didn't say nothing. I was listening.
Yeah, how many times you go to court? I've been to, I think, some 70 times, man, in the last 3 years. 70 so-called hearings, and not one of them a meaningful hearing. And they play games with the scheduling. They don't give you a notification, and then they say they did, but they don't have to prove it. And then they act in violence based on that. When one of the primary functions of the sheriff's office is the serve process. They're saying, "Oh yeah, well, that's what the judge said." So, okay, well, yeah, where's the evidence? Didn't you have an investigation based upon that? Before you decide to take violent action? No, they're not doing anything.
When there's two county guys on scene, one county guy's threatening and pursuing a guy that defends himself against the county worker, and the other county worker on scene lies to his higher ups. Imagine what the state is lying to the DOJ about.
Oh yeah, I don't even think they have to lie about it unless there's a complaint made, and then, oh yeah, well, he said he didn't do it, so that's good enough for us.
How many times in the last 4 years have you tried to contact the DOJ?
I haven't, but
you haven't?
It's coming soon. And
in the last 4 years, I've probably tried to contact the DOJ like 3 or 4 times, and not just about complaints, about talking to them about some other stuff that has to do with the federal codified regulations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got some questions for them?
Well, let me show you something real quick. This is my briefcase that I carry right here, and inside of it, it's got the Constitution right here that has the Declaration of Independence and some other documents in it. It's the United States Constitution and other American documents. And then I got the printed form of that Chili's trifold, right? And then in here I keep a copy of this right here so I can show public service agents exactly what they're supposed to do. But none of them actually fucking. They all know how to get around all this shit. They teach themselves how to to skirt the law. and then they tell us that we're the ones skirting the law. But
I know.
this document right here is what is it? What? Can you read that?
No, man, it's so tiny. Basic obligation of public servants. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at you like the size of a postage stamp, man, on this screen.
Oh, I know. I can't
don't know
even
how
get
to
it
make
to where
bigger.
5 CFR 2635.101, basic obligations of public service,
Yeah.
right there. But these numbers, 2635.101,
Okay.
it says, let me see. I was trying to point out.
Where's the live? Can you see the live chat? I just seen I'm not getting the comments, and one just flashed on here, and I was ignoring the live chat, but I can't read it. I didn't think any new messages came in.
Yeah, I see that one that says high integrity. That's the last one I seen.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, and then it just went to a different screen, and I seen they're ignoring the chat, and I'm not seeing the comments. I didn't think anyone was commenting.
I'm not seeing anything about them ignoring the chat. You see something about them ignoring the chat?
Yeah, it flashed to a different screen, and I saw that and a bunch of new comments, and then it went back to what I've been looking at, and I don't know what's going on with that. I just thought nobody was commenting.
I just refreshed my YouTube. I refreshed my YouTube so that it'll show more comments. But no, that's not. I'm not seeing any of those comments that. Yeah, that sucks because it's easy to ignore a chat even when you're not trying to ignore a chat on this because it's to StreamYard and then the chat is on YouTube and you know. Number 7 here says employees shall not use public office for private gain. That's number 7. Number 2 is employees shall not hold financial interest that conflict with the conscientious performance of duty. And they always say, "Oh, I can't do that because that's above my pay grade." You know what I mean?
Yeah, all they got is excuses.
Yeah, even it says employees shall not hold financial interests that conflict with the conscientious performances of duty. They're not even supposed to be paid, let alone defunded. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Number 1 is public service is a public trust requiring employees to place loyalty to the Constitution, the laws, and ethical principles above private gain. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Now, oh yeah, that's what I was going to say is number 14. Number 14 is what I brought you here for, was to talk about the Department of Justice. And in number 14, it says, employees shall endeavor to avoid any actions creating the appearance that they are violating the law or the ethical standards set forth in this part. Whether particular circumstances create an appearance that the law or these standards have been violated shall be determined from the perspective of a reasonable person with knowledge of the relevant facts. And when you start looking up who the reasonable person is, it brings you to a officer that is a DOJ officer known as a special government employee or supplement. What is it? Hold on. Okay, special government employees retained. That's the other one. Let me find the correct wordage so I can show you guys. Restrictions, specific agencies. So no requirement statute. Employees should not. Agency ethics official. That's what it says here. It says but should refer to the statute itself and obtain the advice of an agency ethics official as needed. So the people should be searching out for these agency ethics officials. And then through the agency ethics official, they should be trying to get the Department of Justice to enforce these ethical standards. Because we, the people, are supposed to be upheld to law, while the public service agents should be upholding the law and the ethical standards. You see
Damn
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
So while we can be criminalized and thrown in jail for the breach of law, they can be terminated and lose their position in government through the breach of ethics. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that that's where people should be focusing right now, because right now they're worried about whether is it Terry versus Ohio, or is it qualified immunity? And everybody's trying to argue over that. Well, it's both, and it's everything at the same time. A lot of it is the fact that we have nobody that's regulating the regulations that are already set to regulate the motherfuckers.
Yeah, which should be their job, to make sure of that.
Yeah, it's the Department of Justice's job to regulate the agency. What are they called again? They're called agency ethics officials. So if it's the Department of Justice's job to regulate the agency ethics officials, and it's the agency ethics officials' job to regulate the public service agent, then somebody's not doing their tax-paid job between the Department of Justice and the agency ethics officials. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basically, it doesn't come down to the cops or the judges or the attorneys that are all acting bad. It actually comes down to the agency ethics officials who are not regulating these actors of the state.
So they're just letting them run rampant and do whatever the hell they want.
What was that? End qualified immunity. Hello, everyone. Is that a new guy in chat?
Yeah. Well, from
I don't
3
see him.
a.m., I wasn't getting any of the new comments. Just trying to throw up a couple different ones up there.
I like that guy's name, End qualified immunity. I like that.
Yeah.
Hello to you, too. I want to point out to everybody that knows about qualified immunity. Qualified immunity started out as a thing called sovereign immunity. And nobody looks for sovereign immunity, even though sovereign immunity was the original statute that they ran with. Okay? And they're not even sovereigns. They're the trustee, not the beneficiary.
Right.
Right here under this statute right here, which is a CFR, Codified Federal Regulations, right here under this statute, basic obligation of public service, it says, public service is a public trust. That's the first line. You see that? Public service is a public trust.
Yeah.
Public service is a public trust.
Right.
So, public service is not a job. Public service is not a business. These people are not working. They're not employed to do a job. You know what I mean? Public service is a public trust, not a job. And when we sit here and act and let them act like public service is a job, that means that they can go on break. They're not even supposed to go off duty. They're only supposed to be on call at all times. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even when you go home, there is no off duty. There's no expiration date on an oath. So when there's no expiration date on an oath, they are not even supposed to be off duty at all. They're only on call. And the more people that know this, the less of those public service agents can trick us into thinking that they're doing a job and that they're supposed to go on break and that they can have unions. Okay, that police union bullshit, that's an act of private gain. It says right here under number 1 right here. Under number 1 right here, it says general principles. It says public service is a public trust requiring employees to place loyalty to the Constitution, the laws, and ethical principles above private gain. So they are not supposed to be using police unions for private gain. they're not supposed to have unions. On top of it, I don't think that they're supposed to have secretaries. When we call in to get our representatives down at the public office, we should be, the public officer should be answering the phone to his constituents.
Yeah, I think you're
That
right.
would
About
be
that. They got somebody else to do their job, their
Yes.
duty.
It's called screening phone calls. If they can screen the phone call, then they don't have to hear their constituent tell them about what piss poor job they're doing. You see? And here
Yeah.
I am calling it a job. Okay? Because I'm just as indoctrinated as the next American. Okay? Yes, I can admit that I am a slave too, and I do not want to be a slave. And anybody trying to enslave me should be known as a criminal.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there. It
Good
says
job.
employees shall not have financial interests that conflict with conscientious performance of their duties. These are not my opinions. This was written before I was born. So how could I be a sovereign citizen with an opinion? It's another thing I want to point out. Okay? Now employees shall not hold financial interests that conflict with the conscientious and performance of duty. This means that they shouldn't be looking for their $100,000 a year paycheck over the performance of saving your mother. Employees shall not engage in financial transactions using non-public government information or allow the improper use of such information to further any private interest. This is why your public defenders should not be part of a private law firm. And when your public defenders and the district attorney have their own private law firm, that's a conflict of interest. They're using pecuniary funding. They're using pecuniary funding to pay for their private law firm. Okay. Now, public funding, public, private, or pecuniary. Now, number 4 is, an employee shall not accept or permitted, as permitted by subpart B of this part, solicit or accept any gift, other item of monetary value from any person, entity seeking official action from, doing business with, or conducting activities regulated by the employee's agency or whose interests may be subsequently affected by the performance or non-performance of the employee's duties. This is why that right there is why the fucking county assessor can't sit there and swoop up on foreclosed homes or whatever the hell they're doing out there.
What is that called?
Employees shall, what?
What is that called that you're reading from? The document?
This is called 5 CFR 2635.101, Basic Obligations of Public Service.
5 CFR. Can you rattle that off again?
5 CFR.
Yeah, I got that.
2635.101.
Okay, thank you. That's good stuff.
So, you see that number? The other number is right here.
Yep, I got it.
5 CFR right there.
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. And you know, this right here, 5 CFR coincides with your Constitution. Okay. Under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 9, or Section 9, Clause 8, I believe. Let me see. Let me look for it. Article 1, Section. No, it's Section 9, Clause 8. Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
It says no title. It says no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, and no person holding any office of profit or trust under them shall, without the consent of the Congress, accept any present, emolument, office, or title of any kind whatsoever from any king, prince, or foreign state. And people need to realize that the state is an agency known as the state. So the agency known as the state of New York, okay, or the agency known as the state of Nevada. These are only agencies operating within the federal government. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People think of them as states, like, oh no, I'm just living in this geographical area called Nevada. No, the state is only an agency known as the state of Nevada. Okay? And that is a foreign agency. It's not the an agency, it's a state of the union, not a state of the country. Okay? And there's a difference between our nation and the union. You can find that under what is it? It's North Carolina Constitution. I read the preambles of all the state constitutions, so I read a lot of state constitutions. But the North Carolina state constitution, North.
I'll
Sorry,
be right
I'm
back.
having a hard time.
A minute. You have right. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go and do your thing, and I'll just say here, I think that we have, only 2 people watching, so we might as well hold this discussion for other viewers that are going to watch later.
Yeah. Do you want to try this again tomorrow or something? We could do it bits and pieces. Because it's going to be an ongoing conversation, but really great talking.
Oh shit! It's probably going to be way ongoing. So we better. If we don't, we'll be here all night discussing this shit.
Let's wrap it up, and then if you want to set a time now, I could post it beforehand, because that seemed to get good results, as far as viewers for tonight. But I couldn't turn on the StreamYard, but maybe I'll have better luck tomorrow with it, because it seems to be working now. But if I put it ahead of time, people get in the notifications, and we could get some more people in here and continue this conversation on. This has been good.
Yeah, I want to say something. This is the exact reason why we're not robots. You see what I'm saying? And this is the exact reason why it's very important that the state actually looks after the people of the land and doesn't force the people of the land to fight all their own battles.
Yeah.
That's why we enacted all this government shit, because we're not robots. We're flesh and blood. We're dying flesh sacks that are dying as we speak. If we were sent here to die, then we should get on with dying already and stop trying to live for happiness and liberty and all this. Okay? Because for one, it's going to take us millions of years to just sit here and discuss this Constitution and learn this shit. And if we don't do it now, we're never going to do it. But we understand right now that we're dying flesh sacks, so that's why we have to go right now. So I'll see you the next time that you hold the live. I'll keep my eye out for you, brother.
Sounds good. You have rights, cops have duties.
Thanks for having me on here.
Real, man. Thanks for coming. And everyone else that came here in the chat, missed some of them comments. Hope you all come back. Essendon says it's 6 p.m. on Thursday, but she's up all hours. She's in Australia. All right. Good night, y'all.